If you could trade lives with any of our past guests, who would it be? Divya.
Treehouse guy.
Man, wife, van life.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
So many great guests to choose
I
from.
know.
I should have looked up at the wall, but it's just like I would
It's
trade
so
places
quick.
with any of them.
I know.
Yeah, there's
it
a
was
lot.
really hard.
There's a lot of trade with.
There was a lot of people that I would have chosen.
But you picked our last guest.
Yeah, I did
Divya.
because Divya stayed with us for the last week, or with me for the last week. And so I got to see her daily habits and how she functions to the world, but how she functions internally. And I'd love to just like hop in and take over for a day, see how her brain works, but also help her out a little bit.
We literally had that conversation on the podcast of
What?
wanting to switch lives with her.
Oh, do we have that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
She really wants her life.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
She want to live that Divvy Dubai life.
I would like to see how she is like functioning, because externally she functions so well, but internally I'm like, there are habits you need to fix, my friend. So I can't even imagine her level of performance if she had like a healthy internal life.
Yeah.
There's perks and drawbacks to being in anybody's shoes.
100%.
And sometimes the perks outweigh the drawbacks by
For
a lot.
sure. Oh
Yep.
my God, I would never say that.
Sacrifices.
Yeah,
Sacrifices.
Divya is living her best life, but
Yep.
Many of us.
her brain is just,
And I also think the treehouse guy lives his
You
best
love.
life.
You love.
What's his name? Again.
none of
What?
us are gonna remember.
I'm so bad with names.
Yeah.
Is it like Andrew or something?
No.
No?
You're not gonna start naming just a bunch of white names, are you?
Steven?
It's like Jeremy.
Dude.
Alexander?
It'll come to me if it comes to me. Otherwise, it won't. Well, you keep going because honestly, it's helping
It
me
might
a little
go
bit.
there, yeah.
Because I know what they're not.
Michael.
No,
Stanley.
no. What?
Colin.
No.
No, but the reason I like his episode, I think like, especially during the time,
Mhm.
my life was very chaotic, and his just seems so peaceful.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if you remember, he was like, yeah, I lived in a treehouse, you know, it was nice. Air conditioning was cool. I just
Well,
lived
he's
out
one
there.
of those guys that are like really content.
Yeah.
I would say where he does a lot of bird watching and like he just kind of lives in and he's okay with what he has.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it becomes a lot easier. A lot of us are chasing
Yeah.
all of our lives and just like looking forward to the next thing. And it's rare that we actually just like sit down and be like, yeah, like this is all I need.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do anything
Yeah.
today. Like imagine not doing.
Yeah. Well, my second option would be what you chose, right? Because they're kind of chasing while still having that nature and peace. And I think that's really dope. That's a good mix.
Which one would you be in
man, wife, van life. Well, either of them.
Okay.
But yeah, they would travel the country in their van and really get to see a lot of places that like you wouldn't get to just by
Yeah.
stopping, you know, taking a flight or just doing the touristy things. And so
true.
yeah, they were a really dope couple.
Yup.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning in to an episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Shamir.
I am man, wife, for us life.
Oh my God. I'm Amber.
And this is the strangest and greatest podcast in the game. This is brought to you by Alif Theory. You can email us or send us your music at strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. You can get this dope Strange Flavors merch at strangeflavors.store. And if you'd like to support this podcast with a small monthly donation, there is a link down below and you could be part of Strange Flavors Town. Strange Flavors Town includes Bobber's Bagels, Cassie's Cupcakes, Airhuz Ices, Freehouse Falafels, and Uslam's Apples, and Shamil Shawarmas. I had 2 ands in there. I should have not done that because I misread. But,
Wow.
yeah.
You
I
ruined it.
almost actually messed up Amber, and I don't know if you caught that. So
I did.
you did. Okay, she did.
Always. I
But,
always catch it because you mess up every
Did-
week. I'm just
Did-
kidding.
Have we updated and checked? Are everyone still in Strange Flavors Town or?
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
everyone's
still
still in?
active members.
Yeah, I'd be checking. I'd be
Okay.
checking.
Active
Okay.
business people,
By the way,
businesses. Are any of them foreclosing?
Yeah.
Eric Walter. I'm sorry, Eric.
Eric
Walther.
Walther.
Yeah.
Isn't it Walther?
I guess. I'm so sorry because I've seen him multiple times. He's an amazing person. I'm really bad with names. And
I'm also sorry because
Eric Walter is a guy who lived in a tree.
Yeah,
House.
and I'm very sorry because I have a framed picture from him in my background.
Yeah.
and everyone always asks about it, and it's one of my favorite pieces of all time. So
It's a picture
won't
of a
forget
squirrel.
now. We have one of his bird pictures here too.
Yeah.
He's an amazing person. He's a fan of the podcast. He'd been listening for some
He's the best.
So if you're listening,
I'm sorry.
we're sorry, but you're an amazing person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strange Flavors Town is all there. Nobody's scamming us. However, I recently got scammed again.
As you
Again?
should, because it seems like if it happens too many times, like shame on you.
Yeah.
You know, I've been what? What? This isn't funny, okay?
It's funny.
I'm down if you put together like all the, amount I've lost on scams just by getting scammed in life.
But how much money did you make from being Big Scalpo and scamming?
Well,
Yeah.
this is what I
Does
was
it
getting
outweigh?
at. This is what I was getting. No, I do not scam people. I save. I am a saving sergeant.
Okay.
I am a deal doctor.
Right.
I get the deals. Now, sometimes you lose
Uh-huh.
on these things. It's like investing, the stock market, The problem is when you win,
Uh-huh.
right? It feels good. When you lose, it's just like, okay, yeah, I lost some money. What sucks is when you find out the amount you could have made if you didn't sell.
I mean, technically she was saving too. She was saving her product and collecting her money.
We're not even going to hype up the scammer like that.
Hype up the scammer.
Hype up the scammer 2021.
Wait, you said she?
What? Why? Girls can't scam?
No, I'm just asking.
Shamir,
what-
is it,
Honestly, woman empowerment.
Yeah, that's what I was
Go
trying to
off,
get at
sis.
for. I was trying to hype up Amber for saying that.
Go off, sis. As you should. As you should.
The point
Do
is
it
like,
again.
What if it was a guy scammer?
He would.
I mean, we know.
I'm just kidding.
Never mind. We won't go there. We won't go on the double standard route.
No.
We will go
Well,
down the route of
it
saving.
was clearly
and
me saying there's a double standard.
we will go down the route of the point is when you get a good deal, it feels really good.
Yeah.
When you lose money, it's just like, or when you like know that what's it called? When you pay the full price, it sucks. When you get scammed, that's where it's just like it hurts deeper than the wallet. So
Like emotionally or financially?
Yes, emotionally. Like I had a conversation over this is Facebook Marketplace with this girl where I was like, I felt like I could trust her. And she was like, yeah, like I'm gonna ship it to you like tomorrow. Like
This sounds like a normal conversation so far.
I'm getting a gift.
I'm gonna ship it to you.
Oh, maybe he's falling in love with the.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
You're reading too far into it. All she was like, hey, I'm gonna ship you this package. She's like, I'm gonna ship it to you.
Oh my gosh, dude.
You guys are like,
Dude.
you guys have no empathy at all.
Oh? What about all
Get it together.
Isn't your name Big Scalpo on Twitch?
Yeah, that's because that. All right, look, you can't bring up. This is my story, okay? Listen, and besides, we said this before, but like you can hurt the industry.
You
But-
can't hurt. You can also hurt your brother too.
No,
That's what.
okay, we're not going because I gave him a PS5 for free. Don't even do that to me. In this case, I was getting my mom a gift. Okay.
Wow.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So you were getting your mom a gift
Uh-huh.
and you were contacting this person about a product?
Yeah, and she was like,
What's wrong?
Okay, forget her. I said we're not talking about the scammer. When you save, right? When you save money, like you're on top of. Do you guys do this? Where you're just like, I can't believe, like you like the product or the service even more.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I only paid this much for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In my sense, was it a too good to be true type of price?
Yeah. But no. But I get prices like that.
Okay.
We were just talking about. I got this hard drive
But
that we're
that's not
using
even
right now.
that too good to be true.
He's had a
per se.
success story.
Yeah, recently.
So
he was on a high.
No, not
and he was being a
recently.
little reckless.
I get good. That's what I'm telling you. I get good deals. Like I can negotiate. These are on vacations that we've taken. Like I don't even know if you know, but like a lot of stuff has been cut out of the pricing because this is something I like doing.
Right, bargaining. It's in our genes.
It's in our genes. My dad's always done it, and that was the way. And like when you find out that you can bargain, then you don't
What's your
choose the other
tactic
life.
of bargaining? Because I feel like like
What's
you're
my
not
what?
you're not like a natural like you don't like charm people in your real life, but I feel like when you would want to deal,
Who said?
I feel like
What?
I feel like you
This
would
is
want
not
to
a
charm
fact.
people. Oh, sorry.
You're speaking
No,
as if this is a known fact.
She's basically trying to say you're not like a scammy type person. Like when
Yeah.
people are bargaining, they kind
I
of
don't.
scam.
Yeah.
I don't scam for deals.
No, that's what she's saying. You're not that.
I'm saying that like I'm not saying okay.
I avoid-
People that you would know, right? You're not gonna like charm your way out of like paying more, right? You would pay normal price. But I feel like in these situations where you're bargaining, like you try to charm them out of it. You charm them into lesser money.
Well, I use
Like that
simple.
truck in the zoo. I feel like you charmed that woman.
I didn't charm her.
No?
I was just using logic. Honestly, if you put logic in front of them and you're like, this is how much this costs you. This is what you're charging people. Like, you can get away with this.
Okay.
Like, you tell them, like, you can make this happen. You will make this happen. And then they're like,
There's no aspect of charming in that.
and also there's no what's it called? There's nothing to lose for them. Like 90% of the time,
You got
I
her
don't.
truck
I don't.
dented.
It's not hers. One, we didn't dent it, and also the thing is, like, if it's, for example, a friend or somebody who has like a small business or something, I want to pay full
No,
price.
I know. That's what I was saying, is that you
So,
don't do that to people. in
When
real
it's
life.
like somebody, like we were having this conversation before, if I'm hitting Jeff Bezos in the rocket when I'm, cutting a
in
deal,
the rocket.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
If he has to have one less engine, it's okay.
Okay.
But that's where it feels the best. It's just like when you save on something and you're just like my dad, he used to always like come home and be like, guess how much I got this for? And then we would all do this thing where we were like, 500. He's like, no, 400, 300.
My mom does
And
that
then,
too.
and then like, and then by the time we're like older in high school, he'd come home and he'd be like, guess how much I got this for? We'd be like, $1.
Straight up.
Right?
Yeah. Every time she says
And
like,
then-
oh, I got, guess how much I got these Nike shoes from? Like, I don't know, $10. She's like, okay, Nike
And then-
shoes.
yeah.
Like, don't lowball it that much. I'm like,
Then
well,
he'd be like, do you know what this is? And I'm like, yeah, but like, you're so good at it.
Yeah.
So, and then if he says like $10 or something, I'm like, why didn't you get it to 5? He's like, you guys don't know. Beat them at their own game. I feel like that's what I'm going to become.
yeah.
Because when you get too good, people don't appreciate it anymore.
Yeah.
People expect it,
Hmm.
Because it's like, yo, like, we trusted you. You're supposed to get us a deal. Anyways,
Yeah.
How
are you feeling?
anyways, like, have some heart.
Yeah.
I'm a saver, not a scammer.
Well,
Don't be out here scamming people.
let's just say what happened. You tried to buy the product, you sent her the money.
He says it
I
doesn't
sent her
matter
the
for some
money
reason.
because she was like, oh, I don't use like the Facebook pay thing. Like I didn't have it registered or whatever. I was like, fine. And then I thought like going through PayPal that PayPal would have my back.
But you didn't use what?
The goods and services.
It's
section.
funny because he doesn't want to tell the story because it exposes how
Yeah.
much fault he
It
has.
exposes my trust
Yeah.
and my soft heart.
Oh, that's
And then he's trying
what
to
it
soften
exposes.
the story. He's like, yeah, it's from my mom. Like I was trying to get it. I mean, it
like
was.
boy, like you had.
I mean, I got like
but, boy, you dumb.
I got like over
You messed up.
I got over 50% off basically. And so
no,
then
more like you got
so
nothing.
then well, yes, I got 100% off.
You got 100% scammed.
But what happened was I was like, okay, so if I'm getting this much off, then like maybe I can. And she had a good history on Facebook Marketplace, good rating and stuff. So that's what like blows my mind because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. But then she's like, okay, well, if you're paying this much, then at least like do the PayPal Friends one because then I'm gonna get charged for the taxes. And then I was like,
She saw an opportunity and took it. Honestly, that's a strong, independent
plus
woman.
shipping thrown in there. Like
Dang. She got you. What if I try to order this?
I got.
You got?
Should I order the same thing from the store? Like find the store?
Go ahead.
Yo, you
Go
should.
ahead. She blocked me.
Aw.
And PayPal's like, PayPal was like, son, what are you doing out here? These streets are dangerous. And I was like, I thought I was on an okay street. I looked both ways, and then PayPal was like, son,
You didn't look up and down.
you came across the wrong car. You got drove by.
Damn.
PayPal sunned me. Now I gotta. It's just inconvenient. I'll pay full price. God.
Did you
All
ever
right.
get your mom the gift?
I'm gonna have to get her a new gift. It's gonna cost me more now.
Yeah,
And
obviously, because this one
partially
was
she
a
won't-
fake offer that she was giving you.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I've saved a lot of money,
yeah.
more than I've lost
Mm-hmm.
to scam. We all good.
Yeah.
It's just money.
There we go.
You win some and you lose some. You win some,
That's
you get scammed sometimes.
That's true.
But in more important news,
Yeah.
this podcast has been delayed
Mm-hmm.
twice because we have been waiting on Amber over and over
Mm-hmm.
to finally be able
Yeah.
to waste,
Yes.
to poop.
To poop.
To poop.
Amber has not pooped. Ladies and gentlemen,
Amber has not pooped
for several days.
6, right?
A
To be
week.
exact.
It's been a while.
There has been
This-
no
no
waste that has
waste.
come out.
Okay,
has come-
clarification, bunny tatties were involved. No, I'm just kidding.
Ew!
Like, listen.
Amber, stop.
No,
She
listen.
said she's been dropping turds.
No.
Like little pellets.
raisins.
Yes, that's it.
You've been dropping little pellets?
Once every 2 days.
Are you like squeezing hard?
I'm trying.
You know what? This
Dude.
is okay. You know how this is the joke here because I'm the guy that saves money. I got scammed. Okay,
Uh-huh.
you're Miss Health Queen.
Oh, yeah.
you're Miss
Yeah.
I eat everything. Oh, Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's,
Trader
healthy,
Joe's, please
vegan.
marry me,
Oh
Trader
my
Joe.
gosh.
Trader Joe.
I wish, Shamir, I hope you had the camera on your face because that was such a scene.
You got traded by Trader Joe, boy.
Okay, let me tell you what actually happened.
We don't want detail.
No, it's not about.
We don't want explicit
I'm
details.
I'm not gonna give you all that detail.
If you're eating on the podcast or not eating on the podcast, if you're eating right now, listening to this podcast,
No, it's fine.
Amber's
no.
butt is broke.
Listen.
I'm broke and Amber's butt is broke.
Listen. Listen to me. Do you guys remember for the last 2 weeks? So I told you guys I was like, okay, 2-3 weeks ago I was like, guys, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna eat whatever I want until I got a box on. You remember when I said that? You remember when I said that, right?
Yeah, usually you're eating very healthy, but you were eating pizza, wings,
Cookies.
cheesesteaks, chocolate chip cookies.
I was going ham. I was like, yo, whatever. I'm going to box on. Not a big deal.
how are the poops?
Fine.
Great.
No, but let me tell you why. I told you guys that a few days later, I was like, guys, I feel like it's all catching up to me because I'm not feeling too well after eating this way. Like, I remember I talked to you literally last week and I was like, I feel like eating that way didn't sit well with me, okay? It's literally been that I was lacking like vegetables and like green and like leafy greens. I hadn't even like bought a salad box for like a week and a half. Like I literally like leafy greens. I didn't take any
Amber,
vegetables.
a pizza is a vegetable. All right, there's several toppings on there. It's literally made out of tomato.
I'm saying that by eating trash, I think that I very much messed up my digestive system. And then I'm trying to like reverse over here. Do you guys know how much fiber intake I have tried to have in the last 2 days?
You said you were eating Fiber One bars. I remember, like, my mom used to pack those in for lunch. First of all, they were
Wait, why would she do that?
what?
Why would you put a fiber one bar in your lunchbox?
They were so good.
I mean, they're good for you.
Like my
Yeah,
brother
but,
and I,
like,
we
were
were
you
addicted
pooping
to
at
them.
school?
They tasted so good. But then, like, yeah, I'd have it at lunch. I'm like, oh shit, the boy got a shit.
Yeah.
It was. I was like, Mom, maybe not these ones, but they're still so good.
Yeah, I mean,
so
they
if
taste
that
great.
didn't do it for you, I don't know.
Listen.
You had coffee.
I had starting from this morning. I started off my morning with chlorophyll water. Then I had a cup full.
What's that?
Chlorophyll water? It's like
Sounds like something you like kill somebody with.
No, that's chloroform. This chlorophyll. This is like the thing that makes the plants green.
Okay.
That's the whatever it is. Basically, it helps with like your digestive system. It's like very good for you. It's good for your skin. It's good for your body. Okay. So I started off with a tall cup of chloroform water, chlorophyll water, not chloroform.
See,
And then
I think she's gonna explode any second.
On the
then
podcast.
I had an entire cup of pomegranate seeds and then after that I had
This is all supposed to make you poop.
like these are all like natural like fruits and vegetables that are supposed to make you poop. Yes. Then I had some broccoli pieces, just a few pieces of broccoli, try to like, you know, greens.
Yeah.
Then I had
Have you been super gassy?
no.
Don't lie.
No, I really bro, I wish there was any type of movement
The
happening.
gas tank is broke. Bro, I'm telling you, she's like
and
a
then
propane tank at this point.
after the what did I say last? After
The broccoli.
After the broccoli, I had a Fiber One bar and then I had some coffee. And I am broken. I'm uncomfortable. I am so
You are backed up.
I am
Can I do some speed round questions for
Yeah.
people? Okay. At speed round.
Dr.
Okay, at
Shimmer.
what point were you like afraid, like, okay, this is a problem?
originally we were going out Friday night, and I realized, I was like, wait, I am so fat for everything. And what is going on? Like, I don't look good in any of my clothes. Like, I'm so bloated. And my homegirl was like, put your legs up on the wall and it'll help your digestive system. Like, maybe.
What?
Because
like upside down?
Like, you put your legs up and like, yeah.
They're trying to shake the shit out you?
No, not shaking. You just put your legs up. It's a yoga pose too. It's supposed to help your blood recirculate and everything.
She starts spraying.
Oh no.
No, so then me and one other of the girls here were putting our legs on the wall, and one was like, okay, cool, great, I'm good. Like, I pooped, I'm fine. And I was like, wait, I didn't. And I was like, oh my
What
God.
the hell?
And at this point,
That's what y'all be doing in your free time.
getting ready to go out, right? Trying to get skinny for our dresses. Then the next day I was like, this is really weird. And mind you, for 4 days prior to this day, I've been eating pretty clean. I've been eating home cooked meals, everything. With the one side of the fact that we went to go get wings that day.
Yeah.
Okay. Aside from that, Friday night, trying to go out, can't poop. I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. The next day I was like, this is a little weird. I mean, like, it didn't really fully click yet, but I was like, this is a little weird, whatever. Sunday, I'm like, okay, this might be a problem. Like, this might be a problem.
And you don't feel anything bad in your body, nothing.
I'm feeling uncomfortable. Like, I feel full all the time. Even eating is uncomfortable. I'll be hungry, but I can't eat like anything or a lot of anything because I'm so full. Like, I am so
laxatives?
uncomfortable.
They're gonna give Amber the cow treatment when she goes to the doctor. Have her like they take the poop out of cows with like a glove on sometimes, just like yanking it out. That's what's gonna happen to you.
I've been going psychotic. Okay, I have been trying to figure out every possible method. I went to and kefir yogurt, which is straight probiotics. Anyways, sorry, I don't know why I threw that in randomly.
No laxatives.
No laxatives, because I'm trying. There's no way that my body should rely on laxatives to poop. There has to be natural foods out here.
Girl, it's been 6-7 days. Like, I think you gotta go with the laxatives.
I want to be able to do this naturally. So this is what I'm doing. Today I prepared my body with the fast. It's a pre-fast. You know, you don't eat like certain types of foods, right? Tomorrow I'm doing a juice cleanse where I eat no food. And I have 6 juices, 1 every 2 hours. If it doesn't work, I'm done.
Laxatives?
No, I'm just gonna go to the doctor. I'm broken at that point.
Why wouldn't you take laxatives?
I don't want. I heard that laxatives end up very messy, and I am not.
You're messy inside right now. You're definitely messy inside right now.
I am uncomfortable. I literally went to the bathroom twice. I was like, okay, cool. Like, after all this
Amber,
fiber.
I'm looking it up, and you might have an obstruction in your system.
Okay.
Frost the doctor.
This requires medical attention before it becomes a medical emergency. They're gonna split you open, Amber.
Oh, or cut your stomach open and just pull it out.
Listen, okay,
Oh
let
my
me tell you
God.
something. Right. It's been a week, okay?
Are you like on WebMD and like
it's just
trying to make me
Google.
convince me that I have cancer?
It's just Google.
No, Frost actually has his doctorate.
Oh,
He's a doctor.
in bullshit.
in feces. No, I'll give you 2 options.
Okay.
One is go to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
have them, spread it open and have a blast.
Right.
Yank that shit out.
It's not
Number
yanking.
2
It's water. They literally shoot water up your butthole, and then the poop comes out, and that's disgusting.
Out of where?
That's so invasive. Out of your butt.
Like a hose?
Yeah,
Have you
like
tried?
they
Have you
squirt
tried
it
a
in-
vacuum?
Huh?
Dyson? Yo, Dyson would probably do that.
Oh my God.
It might be good. Okay, here's option 2.
Yeah.
And remember how Gorilla Glue had like a celebrity sort
Yeah.
of whole moment? Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You get cast
Okay.
in Human Centipede 3.
Okay.
They put you as the final boss.
4.
4.
3 is the thing.
Okay. Are you aware of what Human Centipede
No.
is? So, Shamir,
Yeah.
honors,
of course.
please.
Oh, you want me to do honors?
Yes.
Basically, the first movie, it's a cult classic film.
Yeah.
And basically, this doctor finds 3 people
Mm-hmm.
and he stitches one of the mouths to the butthole of the other. And
What the
then
fuck?
the third person stitches that
Wait,
mouth
this is a
to
movie?
the butthole, and they become a centipede.
And like the person in the front, whatever they eat gets passed on to the second
Yep.
and the third person.
And they show like the first
Guys,
incident.
that needed a trigger warning.
Now check this out. Human Centipede 4, Amber is the boss level where it's just
Dang.
waiting and she
Guys,
keeps eating,
I'm
she keeps eating, she keeps eating. And then we have to see if it just shoots all the way to the last person on the final blast.
Oh,
God.
if you're eating,
Amber, this is
definitely
a
skip
$1 million idea here.
Yeah.
just let me be your manager in this case, and we can get you a good deal.
I was thinking going the TikTok route and then be like, hey guys, I have a problem. I can't poop. And then it goes viral that way.
Yeah, that's
But
what I thought it was going in. He went into this whole like stitching
No,
people's
let's take
mouths on
this
my
to-
butthole.
I
route.
like the movie
Let's
idea.
take the Hollywood
Yeah, more
idea.
money in that.
A straight shot to
Yeah.
Hollywood and a straight shot to the last person in the Human Centipede.
Yeah.
Do you know how long I have to be backed up in order to do that?
Well, it's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week.
We can wait another month, I think.
I'm so uncomfortable, guys.
I am uncomfortable for you. What the heck? It's been a week
I'm
and
in
you
pain.
won't take lax. Are you in pain? Doesn't
I'm
seem
in
like-
I'm in pain. I
It doesn't
really
seem like-
am. I really am in pain. I'm uncomfortable. I've been in
really-
pain for a
Stomach?
week.
Stomach or the
It's
butt?
right here. It's just pressure. It's just like hella pressure. I'm like, listen, I've been
I want to
on-
switch seats with you. I'm sitting next to a ticking time bomb right now. We're about to have a whole Michael Bay production right here in
No.
Strange Flavors.
Okay,
The studio is
if
going
anything,
down.
listen, if
Can you imagine a
anything, that would
helicopter
be
going
a,
over?
at this point that would be a blessing. Like I'm
No.
so
No.
I
It's
would
not
not
a blessing.
The last thing I would feel is blessed by having my entire body covered in whatever you've been eating.
You know what's the
Yeah,
difference
Trader
between
Joe's.
Frost and Shamir?
What?
When Frost came and I told him, I was like, I am so backed up, whatever. He was like, oh my God. Right? And then here comes Shamir and Frost tells him like, Amber can't poop. And he goes, are you okay? There's such a, he was like, hey, are you okay? Like when's the last, are you good? Like, are you feeling okay? Like the difference, man.
Well, you were also like laughing and rolling around and like, I gotta poop. I can't poop. And I was like, please. I just got here after a long ways travel.
Everybody needs to know
I
my
don't-
state.
All of your friends know. People are calling you, hey, have you pooped yet? Like what?
Poop check.
Everybody's like concerned for me because I don't have my parents here and they're just like, oh, like we need to take care of you.
Amber, you can very well drive yourself to the hospital and say, listen, it's been a week. Can't get it out. Help me out.
Is that going to be awkward? Like, hey, I can't.
I don't listen. I have a male doctor and I don't want to go to him and be like, I can't poop.
Well, now a bunch of males are listening to this. Your future husband, potentially.
I mean, it's fine. I'm constipated. It's not like I'm on a shitting spree. I'm on a non-shitting spree.
Oh, cool. Like you're so cool.
No,
You're
I'm
so much better than the people who are already
Representation, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, representation matters. Thank you. I'm
Well,
here for the constipated people. And I just
listen.
want to say my digestive system is usually so good. I've never felt uncomfortable.
Amber,
so this
you-
is a way to get me like
You have no
to-
credibility after this.
Listen, like I've never had like constipation issues or whatever. I'm good. I'm good over here.
Amber,
but now,
you don't have to justify you
no,
not being
I'm not. It's
constipated.
not about being. It's not about justifying. Listen, I have so much more empathy for those. I have a lot of friends who are like, who go on trips and they're like, I can't poop the whole time I'm on a trip, and I don't understand. I don't get it. They're like, oh my God, I'm like in so much pain, whatever. I never understood it. I feel for you, and I am so sorry you go through this.
All right. Well, next time somebody's constipated, I want to see you stand up and be like, listen, I feel what you're going through.
Yeah.
Well, you're not really going through it, I guess. I feel what you're backed up on.
Yeah. I feel that.
Amber, go to the doctor. Like, seriously. It's been a week. She can't poop, everybody. This
Yeah.
is horrifying.
Mm-hmm. I'm uncomfortable. My tummy hurts.
Some people were uncomfortable with a second part to a classic film.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh wait, also guys, I also drink prune juice. I'm sorry. I just felt like that was a necessary.
Basically, she's tried everything natural.
I'm sorry. I just want because somebody's going to be like, "Why didn't you try prune juice?" I tried prune juice,
Guys, she
She
tried
tried-
everything except laxatives.
except laxatives. Go ahead.
Did you try just putting a hose in your mouth and just seeing if it flushes out?
The amount of water I've drank, I've damn near put a hose in it.
If you have any recommendations, message Amber. Hopefully she's
Thank you.
pooped by the time.
Yeah. Sorry. You can continue on with your thing.
Well, there's no need for a transition. Yeah. Space Jam 2 just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After a long time, since the 90s that, the first original Space Jam with Michael Jordan came out. This one was featuring LeBron James. Of course, people already hate LeBron James for whatever reasons, him switching teams and this and that, and not being the GOAT. Some people say he is the GOAT compared to Michael Jordan. But then him, making a part 2 to something that was people's childhoods. That was such a good film for them. So LeBron James did Space Jam 2, and it immediately got like a lot of reactions, mostly from adults like saying that it's a trash movie and LeBron can't act and it ruined the classic, which the original also got a really bad rating when it first came out, like 40% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. This got like the same rating, maybe more.
Okay.
Maybe it did better. And it's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
It's meant for it's a family movie.
And most of us watched the first one as kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 90s and stuff.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. If you like, my opinion is that the first one is better. I think, usually that's the case, which is like it's a classic, it's a new idea. It's hard to beat it. But however, this movie, like I was watching it through the lens of like
a kid.
Not a kid, but just like somebody who is watching this movie knowing what the first one is and just wants to enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie. Like it was, I think for the time, they put in a bunch of references and jokes that were actually like cleverly written. LeBron is not a good actor. Michael Jordan wasn't that creative an actor either. Like these are athletes here. But having said that, I think like as a moment, it's special. It even references like the Looney Tunes and how they're dying. Like kids don't watch Looney Tunes now.
Yeah.
And so they put in a bunch of like, the whole movie felt like a giant Warner Brothers flex because they used like, King Kong and the DC superheroes like Superman, Batman. They used like a bunch of different Warner Brothers references. And it felt like if you understand that stuff and the industry and like all of that, it for the parents and for the kids, it could be a really enjoyable experience. So I don't understand when people are just like, yeah, like LeBron James, he ruined it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Go watch the classic. Like it's still there.
Do you think it'll be good for the kids in this generation?
I think the kids would like it. I mean, it's, it references so many things that they're into nowadays. And like LeBron just did a Fortnite appearance where his actual character is in the game. So him just taking on these opportunities, he didn't get past the playoffs and, make the finals, which is like rare for him.
Yeah.
So in this time, he was doing things that are really great business moves and legacy moves. Like all of these things help him in his overall brand.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the day, say what you want about LeBron's ball game, but like he's been doing really great things for the community and he is that sort of like family man who represents these things. And like it makes sense for him to do all of what he did.
I wanted to touch on that aspect. A lot of people love LeBron, for what he does, charity aspects. But a lot of people hate billionaires. And this man has actually just became a billionaire.
Ooh.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He literally, like, I just saw on Twitter today, he
The
just became a
first
billionaire.
basketball player, right?
First basketball actively playing to become a billionaire.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
Michael Jordan is a billionaire.
Mm.
So at what point do people start liking billionaires? Or if that's a thing?
Well,
Yeah, that's true. Everybody was hating on Kylie when she became a billionaire.
Yep.
it's that, right? It's what the public perception is of what type of a person that is and how much they reveal. We actually go into a little bit of that in this podcast about like our level of control for these things. And for an instance like this, the things that I'm saying about LeBron is what's out there and information that we all have access to.
Yeah.
We don't have access to a lot of other information. And similarly, we don't know what, all the things that Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk invest into that could be productive and helpful to the communities just because it's not being posted.
Yeah.
Right. So it puts you in kind of like this, in this vision of just seeing what they want you to see. And the reasons could be, for example, LeBron, he's very political in his viewpoints because he's representing a community which stands by him, right? It's not in the best interest of many business people to express their political interests. And sometimes people are like, why wouldn't they do something about this? But behind the scenes, they could very well be lobbying for either side or other sides involved in the political spectrum. So, yeah, I mean, what do you think? Like,
I don't know.
how do you determine who is good and who's bad in the billionaire game?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think LeBron being, somebody like, I also see Jay-Z. I don't know how much, like, it seems like he helps a lot of artists and people in what he can. And LeBron honestly seems like one of the people that probably gives a lot. Like, Bill Gates also gives a lot too. So I don't know. I see stuff like how much they're involved with the people in the ground. And I think that's like what I like to see in a billionaire per se. But inflation's going up, so there's going to be way more billionaires.
Yeah,
we're
it
gonna
seems like
see,
there's
so-
way more. I like this analogy to help understand why some people would be, working towards accumulating wealth
Yeah.
in order to help others. It's when in a plane, when they're going over the safety protocol, they always tell you what? About the mask. To put it on yourself
Yeah.
before you put it on even your kids or anybody around
That's
you.
the second reference I've heard of that today. Sorry.
It's a good reference
Yeah.
for this, right? Because they're saying if you put the mask on somebody else, you might, lose out while trying to help somebody else.
You can't help somebody when you can't help yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So in this case, in LeBron's case,
Yeah.
and a lot of other people, did LeBron get to this platform so that he could help more
Yeah.
and influence more and inspire more?
Yeah.
I would like to think so.
Yeah.
From what we've been fed, and honestly, in like my own sort of beliefs and values, I like to be a little bit skeptical, but at the same time, if the track record shows a certain thing and it seems like it's a healthy, positive thing,
Yeah.
if he's inspiring and influencing a bunch of kids who don't know the back end of what
Yeah.
it takes or whatever, then it's not as problematic.
Yeah. I think for me, what I wanted to pose a question. There's a lot of people that say billionaires in general, they had to scam people to get to that place, or they had to do something evil. That's why the cancel billionaires thing exists. So my question basically was just like, at what point, because this is gonna happen, right? Unless the system changes or whatever. A, do they need to exist, or B, at what point or what person that is good, is it okay for them to be a billionaire?
Mm-hmm.
It all comes down to your viewpoint. Is it don't hate the player, hate the game? Is it seek fulfillment and being content in your everyday life, like Eric Walther, the Treehouse guy? Or is it that billionaires can exist and people who do just as great work and the way that we view them can be the same? We don't have to say that just because somebody is really successful in a financial way that they're not successful in the positive work that they do. I think I shared this before on a podcast, but I've been rewarded for doing community work before, and every time that I get that recognition, it comes with guilt, because I know that if I hadn't been nominated or if I didn't know this person or that person, I wouldn't be in that spot. Plain and simple. It wasn't because somebody saw me on the street helping somebody and they were like, oh my God, you're a great person. It was because somebody knew me. And there are so many people that walk, every day doing amazing things, far better than anything I've ever done, that will never get the recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And if we give that level of love and attention and respect to those people in our lives and focus on them and highlight those sort of stories, it's on an individual level. We can't all just be like, guys, don't focus on them, focus on these people. But on an individual level, it comes down to everything, the news you watch, all the media that you consume. You have to decide for yourself. If it bothers you that much, you got to make a change for yourself. Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. No? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
90s. Jordan. Off that. Okay, let's introduce the guest. This is an exciting one, people.
Yes.
Hang on. You're gonna love it. Our stranger today will probably make some of you uncomfortable, but that's exactly why we're talking to her, because we're out here.
I'm uncomfortable.
Are
Sorry.
you?
We've been known that.
Well, you're back.
I meant my current state, not by her. She was a great person.
But we like the uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
conversations because we're out here listening, learning, and loving from strangers. So deal with it or don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Okay, this is going to be my favorite intro ever because I'm not making this up. This is, and I'm leaving some stuff out, but this is what she wrote. So our stranger is a self-identified body hair positive, queer, mixed Indo-Caribbean, Irish-Cherokee, astrology loving, yoga teaching, dog momming, veganish chick. I'm not as good as Shamir as holding my breath. With that, this is a very exciting episode. Stay tuned. Please welcome our stranger, Nicole Sol. Welcome to our show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you guys.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Amber.
How's it going?
It's going really well, yeah.
You're glowing like always.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
A nice tan going on.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You said when you came in here, like, I was like, why was your day so good? And you were just like, I'm just grateful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said, right?
Blessed, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just realized I'm blessed or something like that.
Yeah, because you guys asked me how my day was and why it was so good. I think Faraz asked me why it was so good. And I was just thinking literally like an hour before getting here, wow, like I'm really blessed. Like I have a roof over my head. Like everything's great. I can't complain.
Do you usually do this? Is it like a practice or something? I know some people like have to kind of every day, what's it called? Like,
Practice gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a
That's
thing.
a thing though. Like
yeah,
it's
it
it's
is.
a thing.
Mhm.
I guess we should all do it, but like
Yeah.
it's a
There's a lot of
term
benefits to it.
now. Right. Is that something that you do like every day consciously, or it's just like you realize it here and there?
Oh, I think I just realized it. Like I was just doing a workout. I just walked the dog, like, and I was just staring at the tree and the light, and I was like, "Wow, this is so nice right now."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like that.
You don't hear that a lot. And it's like
No.
usually you'll like small talk with people and it's like, oh, good. Oh, the weather, this and that.
And also, a lot of times people like to talk about the worst part of their day.
Oh yeah.
Because they like, I'm listening to this book about it, but basically it's they like to be dramatic. Like it's like they like to talk about it's drama for them. So it's like, oh yeah, like my cat threw up all over the floor this morning. So sad.
Well, I think it might also just have to do with like that's what you remember. It's like leaving comments and reviews on something. You know, like whenever we hear reviews on like a movie or whatever, it's always the most critical. Because like if people really liked a product or they really liked like Yelp reviews, when are you ever like this restaurant was amazing? It's always like, yo,
Yeah.
this restaurant's
Yeah.
trash. There was
Yeah.
rats. There was this and that. I think it's just like when it comes to negativity, it's just like hits us harder because
Yeah.
it's inconvenient.
I think it's also easier.
I think it also has to do with the whole saying of misery loves company. You want to make other people miserable. Yeah.
like suffer with me.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, I really like that because it was very present.
Thanks.
Yeah. And living in the present is something that is, you know, frankly, really difficult to do nowadays for many people. And sometimes we get caught up in it. And it's just like you're living in. I remember Giannis, who is from the Bucks, they just won a championship. I don't know if you guys watch basketball, but he said something really cool recently, that reminded me of where they were asking him if he watched his last alley-oop dunk.
Okay.
It was like a big highlight, right? And they're like, "Did you watch it back?" And he was like,
Oh.
Slam dunk.
"He was like, no, I didn't
Right.
watch it back because the past feeds my ego,
Oh.
and then he goes, the future it feeds my pride.
Oh.
So like, for example,
Interesting.
I'm gonna beat you. We're gonna win.
Mhm.
It hasn't been done,
Okay.
but it's his pride that's telling him that I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
But the present keeps me humble."
Hmm.
And I thought
Wow.
that was like a really beautiful thing.
Yeah. Whoa, that was so mind blowing.
Yeah, I had to share it because it's just like that's such a dope thing.
Yeah.
Especially for athletes. You know, like as athletes, people they're often like very hungry and they have to be dominant, and it's part of it, right? Like it
Yeah.
helps people, whatever helps you, I guess. But
I think
hearing it
generally
that
people
way.
like the practicing of gratitude or just being like aware tends to lead to a more positive life. I feel like it's like I think being able to be grateful or having gratitude has a lot to do with self-awareness, and obviously that feeds everything else in life.
Yeah, I do the self-awareness thing. Like I keep a journal. I try to write in every day, and it's just like a reflection, or I'll journal what I tarot card or oracle card I drew and try to connect it back to my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
do you plan on sharing that at some point? Do you share them, or is it just like kind of a practice for you?
yeah, so that's so interesting that you asked me because I actually just got a creative coach and we've been talking about my writing and how I want to share that with people. And that's definitely something that I have thought about, but it's just so vulnerable. I would have to do something more intentional. Like I wouldn't want to just share anything random, like too personal, because I
Yeah.
also want to protect people in my life and their privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this book by Matthew McConaughey. It's called Green Lights. And he had been journaling the actor Matthew McConaughey. He had been journaling his whole life since he was a kid, and or at least for the last 30 years or something like that. But he was writing everything down, and it was all over the place. So whatever came to his mind, whatever was significant in his moment, and the pictures that he collected. And then this past year, while everybody was in quarantine and all that, he finally decided to go through all of those journals and find some sort of themes, bumper stickers.
Oh, that's cool.
Some sort of things that related to one another, and finally put it out into the world. And the theme was green lights, meaning there's a lot of red lights in life, and then there's green lights. And what were those red lights and green lights for him? And so it's just a really unique sort of way of recalling all of those events and things that made you who you are. Because if you were to release any of what you're writing down right now, it might change perspectives once you're way older. So, I mean, that's kind of a really cool idea that I heard Matthew do. But
yeah, no, I like that idea. I definitely have my first journal ever, and it took me a really long time to get through it because writing, especially when it comes to self-reflection, can be very intimidating to people. Like, people really refrain from doing that. And now I just got this journal this year, and I only got it in March, and I'm almost finished, and it's July. Yeah, so
writing and drawing, are one of those things that people, they fear a lot because until you do it and until you start, it's never gonna become anything.
Yeah,
I remember being that way. Like, I was just such a perfectionist as a kid, and I was just like, okay, what is this thing going to be about? And you don't even know that yet until you put it down, until you draw the first stroke or you write the first couple words, and then you can always change it. But you can never truly, form the picture in your head until it starts to become something.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that you picked it up fairly recently, because a lot of times we do put ourselves in a box where like, oh, I'm not the type of person that journals, or I'm not this person. So I think it's really cool that we're at this age older that we're still willing to try things. I think that's different about our generation, but to be able to be like, okay, I don't do this, but I can do this.
Yeah.
And that's really cool that you were able to pick that up.
Thanks.
It means a lot to you.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Speaking of being open-minded, Nicole, I was very excited for you to come on to this show.
Okay.
Because it goes back to the entire premise of what our show is about.
Okay.
It's called Strange Flavors because, we come across strangers our entire lives. Every day we're coming in contact with strangers, and most of them we wouldn't sit down and talk with. A lot of them we would disregard. And especially the state of this country at the moment, it's just like you have a certain view, you look a certain way, you wear, a red hat, whatever it might be. I do not associate with you.
Okay.
And so with you, once I read your bio, I was like, okay, this is good because this is somebody that I want to speak with and try to understand.
Okay.
So let's talk about you.
Okay.
But I hope this is, your episode. So anything that we sort of ask you or whatever else, it's to learn. And I hope it's not coming off, even if it may, from a place of like
you're getting a really
arrogance.
nice warning right here, because he's like, listen, before I go off and ask all these
not
questions.
go off.
No, of course not. But like, before I have all these questions, I'm just gonna let you know.
Well, you're not here to change our mind. We're not here to change yours about anything.
Yeah. I'm not about changing minds. I just want to share.
Yeah, exactly. And love that.
And that's what this thing
so
is about.
Initially, I brought you on because I saw that you had, I have been following you. We've known each other for a really long time.
Yeah, very long.
And so I had noticed that you had, I don't know if it was a transition that you had, but like I had just noticed that you were posting about body hair and how, like, what that meant to you and, the importance of it. And you do this quite a bit on your page where you have these topics that you're passionate about. You put out a few posts about them and everything. Thought that was really cool. What sparked my interest was the body hair, however, because I've always been curious about that.
Okay.
So what is your journey with body hair?
Okay, so I really started getting curious about body hair and just letting it be on my body when I was about 23. I'm 29 now for time reference. And I was going to a lot of festivals, living like the hippie life. And I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm around all these wooks and like these rave kids. Nobody cares what I look like. So I just was all right, whatever. It's summer. I don't care. I'm not shaving. It doesn't matter.
But it's usually the opposite. You don't shave in winter.
Yeah. And that was very strange for me. But I was just going through like a phase of liberation, I guess, just unlearning the social conditioning and things that really stuck with me growing up. I remember being in 9th grade and I was on the school bus, and the senior girl, she was talking about how she doesn't shave like her private area. And she was like, I'm a woman now. I'm not a girl anymore. That's what separates me from a woman and a girl. And that stuck in my
She's
head.
like proud of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, I guess she's right, you know? And then I remember.
How did you relate to it at the time? Were you against it or were you for it?
I thought it was interesting because there was another moment when I was on the bus and these guys were talking about when they hook up with women and they shave, it's prickly and they don't like that. And I was like, I know there's a lot of interesting conversations about
Body hair
on the bus. Yeah.
That's specifically the bus. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that really stuck with me. And then another moment that stuck with me was when I was 19 and I went on this random day beach trip to Ocean City with my friend and like her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend's friends. I don't even know these people. And the girl she was like a natural hippie girl. She had like the dreads, the white people with the dreads and
natural
everything.
hippie girl.
A natural hippie girl.
You're saying like a stereotypical hippie girl.
Yeah, stereotypical hippie girl. And I thought that was interesting. And I was like, wow, she just like doesn't care. These people are so different. I just thought it was really cool to see somebody not conforming and doing something different. And then I decided I was going to do something different because I was in that environment. So it made me feel more comfortable. But I still shaved on and off throughout my life. Like I got a job again. I was unemployed when I was going to all these festivals. I was just like out here. And I got a job and then I got a boyfriend and I was like, all right, let me shave. I need to be feminine, all these social conditionings. And
hang on, can I ask you about that real quick? Was he aware of that? Did he say anything, or
he did not say anything?
It was just in your head.
Yes.
Got it.
Wait, did he ask you to wait? Did you shave on your own for him?
I shaved on my own for him.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
but
he never like experienced like your body hair or whatever.
actually, he did. But then when we started dating seriously, I was like, all right, I'm in a relationship. Maybe I'll like spice it up and like switch it up. And yeah, so that's how that happened. Yeah.
Got it.
Now with you, I know Amber made a comment when you came in. She was kind of like, I'm looking for the body hair. Where's it at? So when it comes to, for example, we're South Asian. We be hairy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the girls go through, but I've read and heard about like them kind of growing up in the Western world and getting made fun of, and then like, you know, not having the same standard as other people do.
Like they have to shave mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have monobrow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Monobrow, unibrow.
Unibrow. Isn't that monobrow too?
yeah, it's that too, but it's just like, it's not all of them, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
At
just
the
like
same
arms.
time, they literally are just hairy animals.
No, but like-
Unibrows,
all of them.
all of them, every single one.
More on their
but,
arms.
But like being honest here, I'm looking at your leg, and this is
Yeah.
not to be like any type of way
No.
towards you, but I'm looking at your legs, and I see that you have a fairly faint hair, you know, and you know, I honestly, if I wasn't looking for it, I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It's not just casual to me.
Okay.
Girl, if I did what she was doing,
Yeah.
it wouldn't look like that on me.
I understand
The contrast
that.
of hair, you got light brown hair on tan skin. I got contrast. These,
Amber is saying she is an ape.
no, I'm saying I got light. I don't show my legs. My legs are very light, and then on top of that, I have dark hair. So that contrast plus it's not that faint. I'm not gonna look like that.
Right.
So like that kind of plays a factor too, doesn't it?
So honestly, I thought I was a lot hairier than like compared to other people. It wasn't until recently I started realizing I am not that noticeably hairy. I follow a lot of influencers on Instagram that do the whole accepting of the body hair and everything, and they're all hairier than me. Like there's one Latina influencer. They are very light because like a lot of Latina people are, and dark hair. So it's very noticeable on this person. And I don't know. I just thought it was really inspiring, and it made me feel like kind of privileged in a way that I could have body hair and it not be as noticeable.
Well, you could like, the thing is, you could like get away with it with like standing up for this movement and then still like be practicing. It's like
you can be a part of the movement, but also get away with not like being associated with it so blatantly.
It's like being light skinned and saying the N word.
Oh,
It's like Logic.
Hold on. Is it light skin or is it like?
You know how like Logic, he's like, he has to tell people all the time, I'm biracial. Yeah.
Okay, that part I get.
Okay.
Maybe the example wasn't the greatest,
Yeah.
but I get what you're saying.
It's not like it's a, what's it called, a negative factor to your cause in any way, but definitely it has to play a factor into like the way that other people react to you versus like how they might react to, as you're saying, like those influencers or some people. Sometimes I scroll through Twitter and someone's like, body hair positivity, and it's like it's there.
Yeah. So
And it catches
do
you
you
by
think
surprise.
that you would still be practicing this body hair movement had you had like maybe a heavier hair or like a stronger contrast?
that's a good question because I thought that I was hairier, like I said. So I don't know. Like, I still struggle with it. Like, even today, I went to the cleaners to get a shirt altered, and it was a sleeveless, like, button down. And I'm standing there, and the lady said, "Lift your arms up." I'm like, "Oh my God, is she like judging me for my armpit hair? Like, what's going on right now?" Yeah, but
I thought you were gonna come in with like a beard. Because we've done podcasts where Amber's just sitting there with a full-on mustache, and
yeah.
I'm used
You're
to
not
it.
wrong.
But like, yeah, I thought it would be at least like next level to Amber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're just over here with
Amber's the real cause.
yeah, straight up. I'm representing harder out here today.
yeah,
I'm just
No.
kidding.
Yeah. No, but jokes aside, like why be so passionate about this movement particularly?
well, honestly, I started posting more about it because I had posted a picture of myself in 2018 with my armpit showing.
arms
yeah,
up?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I started getting a lot of random likes on that picture, and I was like, maybe this is what people want to see right now. People want to see my hairy
People wanna
armpit,
see the armpit.
so I'm gonna give it to them. Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah.
She said that's what's going to get the likes out here. Some
Yeah.
girls put ass, she put armpit hair.
My question is like, is it to change the beauty standard, or is it for you to be like personally okay with having this hair?
Like the liberation.
yeah.
It's a little bit of both, honestly. Like at first, it was just more about myself and getting comfortable with the body hair on my body. And that took, like I said, I've been trying to do the body hair thing since I was 23 and now I'm 29. So that took me like 6 years to get comfortable with.
What's like the thing? Like, what's the reason why that
Oh.
you want it? Like, why? Like, what was it like? This is a reason why I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I guess I just felt like people need to see more representation. It's like kind of a lot of things. Like I remember being younger and 8 years old, and I'm like looking at my legs, and I'm looking at my classmates' legs, and they're white, and I'm like, where is the leg hair on them? And then I had this theory in my head. I was like, all right, so when I become a woman, you develop and then your leg hair falls off. Like I didn't understand that you shave.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really,
Like that's like shedding.
yeah.
So
So you just thought that you had hair and it would just fall off when you become a woman.
great,
Yeah.
great imagination.
Right.
That's
It's like
good.
reversing back into baby form.
I was like, what? Why? Because I didn't see any women in my life at all with hair on their legs, and I didn't understand that that's what the razor was for in the
Yeah.
bathroom. So
Girl,
Yeah.
listen, I know that you have some cultural background as well, and I don't know how much that plays into you, but I was like 13 and all my friends were shaving their legs, and I was waiting every single day for my mom to have that talk with me, to hand me a razor and be like, shave your legs, sis, to the point where I was so frustrated one day. I was like, Mom, where are the razors? razors. And she was like, they're in the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she's like, what do you need them for? I was like, I'm shaving my legs. Like, it was a moment that had to be like, this is happening because, yeah, I mean, there was a certain level of disgust that was related to it. I was like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, people talk about me. And I was young. Like, I honestly, I feel like 13, like, if you want to, that's fine. It is kind of young to be kind of teased about it and stuff. But like, especially as a brown girl, luckily I was wearing long pants. You know, like culturally I wasn't wearing shorts or anything. But still, there is a huge amount of like shame and disgust. Like, I'll be chilling with my homegirls now. And I'll like, you know, you can't be shaving every day because that prickle, if you don't build up that prickle, you're getting razor bumps, right?
Exactly.
We're sitting there and she's like, every single time around this mirror, she's like, girl, you need a shave.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, excuse me, I'm growing here.
Yeah.
Not the shave shame.
Yeah, and
not
that's why. That's kind of the reason why too. I'm like, why do we have to sit around and say, oh man, like I really need to shave. Like I'm going to the beach. Let me shave. Like all these things. Like why do we need to add that extra mental load to the load that's already there?
And
Well,
it'd
so
be
then-
uncomfortable too.
How far does that go then? Like that thinking, right? So what is your stance on like doing makeup, hair, putting on a nice pair of clothes?
Okay.
Is that even related though?
Well, because when it comes to, for example, going to the beach, right? You were saying that like, why do I have to shave to go to the beach? Why do makeup to go to the beach, or why do your hair to go to the beach, or why put on like nice clothing to go to the beach? Like shaving could just as well be something that like makes you feel good.
But y'all can just put on shorts.
Right. That's the thing too.
No, I'm not talking about men.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like,
Yeah.
But why
the
that's
difference
the-
is that
double
like, yeah,
standard.
like guys can still put on a nice pair of shorts
Yeah.
and it'd be cute and they want to look good, they want to feel good, they want to do their hair, whatever. But like, you know, for that, like, I'm not fully with you here. Let me make that clear. I can't go full on and shave my leg hair. I don't think I could get to that point. However, I think there should be some prickle room.
Yeah,
allowed.
absolutely.
No, my question is not because you're saying, you know, for a societal stance, right? I'm asking for you for personal, because when you're going to the beach, right? For some people, they want to shave and look nice. It doesn't have to be for other people, or pick out the best, you know, bathing suit, etc. So for you personally, what is it? What is the standard for like what you want to do? And you know, throw away the societal standard. What do you like to do for yourself?
Well, I definitely like to make sure I have sunblock when I'm going to the beach. I like to wear a bathing suit that's comfortable rather than trendy.
Sure.
And make sure I have a blanket, a towel to dry off with, and a hat and my sunglasses, and maybe something to read, something to write with and write on. Yeah, snacks. Yeah.
And then what about like, you know, if you're on a date or something, making, you know how like you'll make an effort to impress the other person. Are you more so like, oh, they need to accept me for everything that I am, or will you put in like a certain effort? And what is that effort?
Extra amount.
Yeah, so I'll definitely won't shave because that's just part of who I am. I'm not going to like change who I am, but I'll definitely like clean my eyebrows up, like make sure my hair is nice, like brush my teeth, you know, shower, all
Gotcha.
that stuff. Yeah.
Hygiene related.
Yeah, hygiene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say wear a flattering outfit. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
On the hygiene aspect though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Is there like any concerns that come with like hygiene and not shaving?
Okay, so more recently, because I went to Maui, and that's when I really decided I wasn't going to shave anymore. I was like, I'm going to leave that on the mainland. I'm not bringing it back. It can stay there. Yeah. So I used to shave my armpits on occasion, and I haven't in a really long time. And I will say that I noticed that I sweat way more. Like it just way more sweat. And I'm like, wow, this is so sweaty. Is this how guys live? They're just sweating around and armpit stains and just like this
Is that because the sweat's like holding on to the hair?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Well, the hair does trap a lot of like oil, bacteria, sweat, things like that. It's not the whole hygiene thing. I looked it up. It is semi a myth because if you don't clean and wash, then yeah, it can be very, you know, damaging to many different aspects of like skin and your overall health and things like that. If you're cleaning every day, and you're rocking your hair however it is, then I mean it's not. Then it stands as a myth.
Also, like around the pubic area, like the hair is supposed to like help protect from diseases and stuff. But the armpit, I think, has no purpose in that, right? Because it's not blocking.
Yeah, it's not blocking anything. It's just like a sweat area, and it just traps the sweat. Yeah.
What a random place for God to give us hair.
I know. I'm like, this is so inconvenient.
Well, even in like your private areas and stuff. Again, if you're not taking care of it, if it's not clean, then you have to do, or if you grow it out, you have to do a lot more maintenance than otherwise, because odor is a part of it too. And it depends if you care for odor or not. Some people say it's natural. You shouldn't use deodorant, things like that. Like I've had friends that are like, I don't use deodorant because like, we don't need to.
Chemicals,
I mean, at the same time, I don't know if you've noticed some of these feminine products, but they throw your entire pH balance off.
Oh, that too.
So like shaving cream and applying it down there, if you're not using like a natural one, like that can cause odors because it throws your pH balance off and everything. But I do understand that part too. It's just like, as long as you keep everything clean, it's good. But
What's your like balance of all of that?
Well, I definitely try to use more natural beauty products. Like I use Tom of Maine's for my deodorant, and then I use Dr. Bronner's soap. Yeah, that's just like for everywhere, my face. And I have like a scrub. It's a natural scrub with brown sugar, almonds, and coffee. Yeah.
Do you have a separate face wash, or you just use it all over your body?
The Dr. Bronner's, you can just use all over. It's for everything. But I usually just use it on my face mostly. And then I try to use like a natural bar, and you can buy that at like Sprouts or...
You have amazing skin.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff is so expensive. Like I see ads for it and all of that. And then I'm like, this looks right. Because then they show you what's the chemicals and all of that in other products. And I'm like, well... we should all be using this. Like, it's not that way. But then, I mean, like, if you think about it, most people can't afford this stuff. And it's like...
That's really sad.
Like the tampons at like, even if you go to Walmart, right? And you want to get like organic cotton tampons, it's like $14 for 10 tampons.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you can. You can get organic.
Oh,
you can get like organic cotton tampons.
Non-GMO.
And like, and then Kotex is sitting there staring at me for $40 for $10.
Oh man,
And
but
then
that chemicals, it makes your cramps worse, actually. Yeah.
But they got to make it more affordable, man. I cannot be like, I'm not going through 2 boxes of tampons per cycle.
It's definitely
paying
a
$30.
classist issue.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's definitely not as accessible. And I mean, it's cheaper because of the chemicals, Like it doesn't make sense because all these products that are natural, it's literally coming from the earth. Like, but I think the reason why they're also more expensive is because they try to make those products more ethically. So they're paying the people who are making these products actual living wages versus those cheaper products are being made by people that are really poor and starving.
Yeah, also, like in other countries, probably it's more natural there. Like they probably don't use these products. I feel like it's maybe an American thing.
That
like,
too.
European thing, or maybe.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point because a lot of the chemicals and ingredients in our food even are illegal in European countries. Like I have family in the Netherlands, and whenever my uncle would come visit, he would always bring his own like food with him, like his peanut butter, because it's too sweet here. And then my cousin, he is a nutritionist, and he would always read the back labels of everything, and he would just be so mind blown by like what's allowed in our food. Yeah,
I'm realizing more and more every day that our upbringing, as in South Asians and Asians in general, that part of the world, our like natural remedies for things and practices, they're now introducing in a super expensive and like a
repackaged way.
Different repackaged way. And we used to be embarrassed of those things growing up. Like for example, I remember growing up and watching like my cousins and my aunts and stuff putting like yogurt and like
turmeric,
different coconut oils and that lemon in their hair and like different things, like just making concoctions at home and then putting it. And I'm just like, why? Like go to the store and buy this.
Yeah.
But now, you see those things shelved.
Yeah.
It'll literally say like those same things. And I'm just like, oh, so like the natural stuff is what like we grew up on. And I mean like East Asia is even more about like holistic medicine and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You couldn't catch me drinking turmeric milk a few years ago, but now that I'm understanding like the true benefits of it and I'm like learning about the body, I'm like, wait, why would I take these pills to like offset the problems that I'm having when turmeric will directly help and heal the problem that I'm having?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes with like American medicine, it's like they sell you a product that'll help you kind of deal with the issue when there's a natural route for everything that can solve it.
Well, American medicine is really symptom based. You have MDs and DOs, and MDs, there's 98% more MD schools than there are DO schools, and DOs are all about like the mind body. Yeah.
Well, also it's in their best interest to like sell.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can buy a stock in pharmaceutical sales. So
I want to ask you about your cultural background. You said that you're Indo-Caribbean and Irish-Cherokee. So how much are you into your, how much do you know about your cultural background, like, and your ancestors and all of that?
So actually during COVID last year, it really propelled me into a place of like wanting to learn more about myself and my cultural identity. Like growing up, it was just mostly me, my mom and my sister, and we didn't really have a cultural community. So it felt really isolating, and I really felt like out of place when it came to like cultural groups and everything.
So you grew up on like kind of like Western standards?
Yeah, I mean, my mom is the Indo-Caribbean person. She's from Suriname, which is in South America, but it's part of the Caribbean community because it's more Caribbean culture than South Asian, and they don't speak Spanish there either. I mean, they speak a blend of different languages, but it's not the primary.
She's like immigrated from there?
So it's Suriname used to be colonized by the Dutch. Well, originally the British, and then the Dutch took over, and then she moved from Suriname to the Netherlands in the 70s when Suriname was becoming an independent nation again. And then she immigrated from the Netherlands to the United States.
Got it. So she was born there?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you started digging into kind of like the cultural background over the pandemic?
Yeah, over the pandemic. I don't know. I had COVID and I was by myself for 2 weeks. So I just was like, what am I going to do? So I just started trying to learn more. And
wait, did you get the vaccine?
Yes.
Oh, you with the system.
I know.
She's not anti-vax.
No, I'm not anti-vax. Yeah.
Just messing.
Okay. Oh, okay. No worries. But where did I go with? Where was I
Sorry,
going?
You had
were just-
COVID. You were trying to figure out what you was about.
Oh yeah. So I got really sad because I took a history class. And we're learning, and it's Western civilization. And I saw Suriname mentioned in just like one sentence one time, and I was like, this is kind of messed up. Like, why? Where's the history? I'm like, I'm trying to learn more. So I started going into these rabbit holes and like searching for people like online, like on Facebook and Instagram, like where are the Surinamese people? Like, where are they? I know they're here. So through that, I kind of started to learn more about the history and why people from India ended up in Suriname, like what really happened there. Yeah. So it's been nice.
Yeah. And then what about like your Irish Cherokee side?
So for the Irish side, I mean, I've always known most of my life I've been around white people. So that really wasn't like a thing for me. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm like super interested. But I did recently start watching these two shows, The Last Kingdom and Peaky Blinders, and I started learning about how oppressed the Irish were, and that kind of like put me into like another rabbit hole, like what's going on with the Irish, like why were they so hated by the crown, like what is this beef going on between England and Ireland? So that was pretty cool. And as far as being Cherokee, that was really sad because being part Cherokee means that somebody in my ancestral line decided to have a child bride, and that's where the Cherokee heritage comes from.
Explain.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, so it was very common for like European men, I guess like just American men at this point, to take child brides that were like indigenous. Yeah.
Like take them meaning marry them?
Yeah, marry them.
How
yeah. I don't as young as 12, yeah. Yeah.
And how do you know that that's probably the case?
It just makes sense just based on all the history and information that's out there. Like a lot of the indigenous community online, they just give this information so much. And I tried Googling it, but I couldn't come up with anything because it's blocked, I'm
Right.
sure. So I was just on TikTok just trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Did you like do one of those like ancestry DNA type things?
I really wanted to because Ancestry.com had a sale during Father's Day, but then I looked at where they had their ancestry
They're trying
from.
to ruin the next Father's Day.
They have one
That's
for
funny.
they have one for Mother's Day too. So yeah.
I've heard mixed things about doing that. So
Me too. Yeah.
some people, especially like I watched The Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne was like really about getting your DNA tested and see what tribe you come from in Africa, and for other African Americans to do the same. And then I was talking to a friend about it, and he started yelling at me, and he was like, I wasn't gonna do it, but I was like, have you ever looked into this? Because he was curious. And he was like, nah, man, like they're trying to collect our DNA and like
yeah.
Is this
all this
Brandon?
stuff. No.
Oh,
it's someone
really?
else.
The tone made me think it was.
No,
Sorry,
but
Brandon.
yeah, I mean, like that kind of makes sense. I don't know. Like, I don't know who to
Yeah.
trust.
I know.
Yeah, my brother said the same thing. That, like they
that's
want
why
to
I-
collect your DNA. And he was like, they can like use it. Like you can be cloned. And I was like, isn't that a good thing? Like I don't know.
No, Amber clone is not a good thing.
That's really funny. Yeah, I was hesitant about doing that because I've heard those stories before too. But then I also heard the same thing about the COVID test. Like they take that DNA sample and they try to sell it. And I'm
Girl,
like,
you got the
"Ugh."
vaccine. You're all the way in.
I know.
You're all the way in.
I know.
There's no organic COVID vaccine out here. Actually, I don't know.
Antibodies are pretty organic.
My mom says it's the black seed. All we needed was the black seed.
Honestly, that's
Should've listened.
a huge part of just like holistic culture is
Right.
like black seed oil is the cure of everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Okay, so what do you make of all of this? Where do you go from here now that you know all of this information? Are you going to start, sporting the wardrobe? Are you going to want to visit the countries, or are you just like, this is who I am and where I come from?
I mean, I definitely have those things on my list. Like I want to go to the Cherokee Nation. They have one in North Carolina and one in Oklahoma. I would love to go to Suriname, but I don't know if I'm ready to. And then
Why?
because that's probably just like a family thing.
cultural-
It's just like a family thing because I know a lot of like pain and trauma happened there for my
Okay.
family. So I'm like, ooh, am I going to go here and like have some weird
you have
breakdown?
family there?
Actually, I think I do, like distant family. Nobody that I know personally, though.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
This is like your hero story, the come up story. Like, I got to go back. I got to fix things. I got to find out where I come from.
Yeah.
Like Aang.
Oh, yeah, Aang.
She's an Avatar fan. That's why I was saying that. She's got the Avatar
Oh
tattoos.
my gosh.
Yeah, so like you'd go there, Ireland, maybe?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely on my list. I want
That's
to
the
go to
easy one.
Ireland. Yeah, I know it's so common, but I also want to go to India and see
One
India.
of our mutual friends that you were really close to is Brown. So our only mutual friend
Yeah,
she was Brown. Did you have like any type of relatability there? Like, cause she's South Asian.
Yeah, I mean, we
You're-
could definitely relate, like, as far as like culture, like having to cover up, and like I understood a lot. Like, she could really come to me as like somebody that actually understood and didn't really have to explain things.
Right.
Yeah, and like
Was that similar to upbringing with your mother or not really?
I think because she did live in Suriname, being Indian Caribbean, there wasn't as much conservative like requirements. Like I didn't have to like really wear long pants all the time. I definitely had to be mindful. Like I couldn't push my limits, you know, like I could wear shorts, but they have to be like to the knee, like
Yeah.
nothing scandalous. So that was nice. And like the not dating thing, yeah, you couldn't date until you had a degree or something like that. But I was such a rebel. But
Good, very good.
yeah,
Wait, was there religion associated with?
yeah,
that
my
upbringing?
mom, she never really practiced Islam until after her dad died. She started getting more into it, and now she does the fasting and prays 5 times a day, and she reads the Quran like 3
So you're
times
a whole
year.
sister over here.
Yeah.
Actually, body hair is part of like the removal of it is within the religion,
I know.
even for men.
I've been reading this book about how in America they tried pushing body hair removal by calling it like Oriental and using like the Eastern and like the Mid East and the Far East, and how those people like did it. Yeah, they were pushing it, but they had a lot more chemicals in the product here in the West than they did over East. Yeah.
Interesting.
You should go to India and see how the body hair thing translates.
Okay. That's like a challenge.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what it would be like.
That'd be interesting.
They might be like, she's leading the movement.
That's true. Look at it. We can see it.
I mean, there's a lot of women in India that are getting really radical because they're tired of being objectified by men.
Well,
But again, like, not to take away from your journey, like those ones have to be so loud about it, but not because they want to be vocally loud about it, but because it's so visibly apparent.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's like, they'll be like, oh, like even if they don't acknowledge it, then it just seemed like they are irresponsible to themselves. So they have to verbally acknowledge it because it doesn't look like they're not, like it's a purpose, they're purposely doing it. It's not something they're neglecting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a different system of like, you could decide like, okay, yeah, I'm with like liberation, and then you just do it.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, like people might judge you here and there, but then it's not like gonna affect your life. In India, for example, Pakistan, any of these countries, if like somebody's seen with like growing out their body hair, it could be like, you brought shame to the family.
Oh my
We're not getting
gosh.
we're not getting you married.
Yeah.
It's like a whole different thing. That's why I'm just like, I wonder, because I know that there's been like really sort of like progressive feminism movements that have sparked, especially in recent years, over there. And so, yeah, I wonder how that would translate.
Well, speaking of your cultural identity, you also mentioned your sexual identity and like the work or research you do with LGBTQ.
Yeah.
LGBTQ
IA plus.
What's the
Yes.
IA
And
plus?
gender related material.
Yes.
What's the
you,
IA
and you
plus?
post a lot. You post a decent bit about it on social media as well.
I do. Yeah.
What's
Okay. So
what's happening?
All right. I'll answer this question. The IA plus.
Uh-huh.
I is intersex. A is asexual, and plus is just to make sure that nobody gets left out.
Wait, why is I a part of it? Because I is not. Whoa, hold on. I was about to get canceled so quick.
Say it.
No,
Well,
like,
what are you thinking?
I is not okay. I'm not saying that. Like, oh God, I'm in a pickle. Okay.
Just say it, and then we
Like,
can
yeah, okay,
deconstruct
help
it.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like intersex is not, and I don't want to say a choice, like transgender is a choice, but I is literally the way that you're born, and you have no option with that. It's not like you can
Ooh.
identify with that. It's
Amber.
just who you are. Like you can't
man.
change that.
Okay.
I know, but so I'm saying biologically, right?
yeah.
Everything else is you can.
Somebody get Ben Shapiro on the phone.
Damn.
We got to support her.
Oh my God. I'm saying I am in support of all of LGBT, but I'm just saying with the I, it's the one that's different from all of them because it's the only one that you're biologically like born with both parts, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that, why is that a part of it? Because the rest of it's identity, right?
So that's the whole thing is that intersex, the whole point of the LGBTQ plus community is to let people know that it's not really a choice. Like gender is fluid and it's not about your biological sex or the sex that you were given at birth.
Okay.
Yeah, and intersex people need a place to be a part of because they face a lot of discrimination because they are intersex. So
it's like a form of support.
yeah, it's
Okay.
like kind of like a belonging.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think it's interesting how we put the plus, but then we just keep adding to it.
I know
It's gonna be the whole alphabet at some point
I
with a plus
know.
at the end, in case it's a different language alphabet.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's crazy when people who are part of the like queer community will refer to as the alphabet mafia, and I'm like, we could never refer to it as
LGBTQ plus GAF.
That's some Arabic in there.
Just kidding.
But yeah, so what is what first of all, do you mind sharing what your identity is and what was your journey with that?
Sure. So I
Amber just said.
I don't know what I asked. I
Trying to
have, no,
save herself.
I have no idea what I have no idea what I just asked right now.
She's trying to ask you, what do you identify as, and when did you realize?
Yeah, there you go. And what
Okay.
was your journey with your identity?
Okay, so I've always kind of felt this way like most of my life. I identify as demi-female, which is mostly female, but there's still a part of you that feels kind of like masculine and manly, and it has nothing to do with my body hair. Like I felt this way even before I started doing the body hair thing. And because I don't really feel non-binary. I've never been like, yeah, I can go gender fluid. I've always been curious about it, like Prince and just everybody from the 80s. There's so much androgyny. It really fascinated me. I was just really, wow, like that's so cool. Like men are wearing eyeliner, women are wearing shoulder pads. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Like screw the gender norms. Everybody's doing whatever they want. And I think I started... And then as far as my sexuality, I am not really sure where I'm at with that. Like I know that I was bisexual, but now I'm like, am I pansexual? Because there are definitely trans people that I find attractive and like non-binary people that I find attractive, but I've never dated or had an experience with these types of people. And I'm like open to it, but I'm also, it sounds nice in theory when you think about stuff too.
Well,
So-
isn't being open to it being pan? Like you don't have to have the experience to be pan.
Yeah, I guess that is. So I don't know. Like that's why I'm also trying to say more often that I'm queer, because queer can also be questioning. Like I'm just questioning things.
Yeah, I had to look up demi-female. That was a new one.
Yeah.
And then I looked up demi-male to see if that was like the same thing.
So I
Wait,
mean,
sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask like what parts of you think are male and like why are you a demi-female?
It's definitely more in my thinking and like my mannerisms. I definitely.
But isn't like the whole body hair and all that thing to like kind of destroy the men and the
I
female
know.
thinking?
Yeah, so that's why it's not really related to my body hair. Isn't what makes me masculine. Like you can be demi-female and still shave. Like it's not really something that goes hand in hand with one
Wait,
another.
so being demi-female means that you're mostly presenting as female.
Born as a woman,
Yeah.
but doesn't
Present as a
entirely feel like a woman.
Yeah, and I felt like
but
that.
isn't there nuances to all genders? So like, wouldn't that just be female then?
No,
Niyati tried to explain this to me one time because I had because what she's saying is basically like there's a male or
because okay.
There's
feminine and
there's
masculine
yeah,
part of-
energies and all of us.
Yeah.
Like
But
we all,
that's-
yeah.
But there's
So
a
then-
difference between sexuality and
gender
Identity.
identity,
Gen-
gender
Yeah,
And
identity.
in this
yeah,
case, we're
yeah.
speaking about identity.
Yeah.
So it's like if I related to those things, but I only don't all females under some circumstance have some aspects that would be some masculine, some feminine, and fall in a like varied level of that? So what is the, for the lack of a better term, purpose of identifying as demi-female?
Because I think I just wanted to be more clear, because I've had in the past a man really try to push his ideas onto me, like trying to make me something that I wasn't. And I'm like, whoa, like I am not this feminine, lacy doll woman. Like I'm a woman, but I am more comfortable with like more nitty gritty things. Like I don't know. And that doesn't necessarily mean that like women can't be nitty gritty either. But there's always been a part of me like, I remember one time when I was 17, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, yeah, I could be a man. Like being a man, I could pass. What would I look like as a boy? Like, I think that's what sets it apart. Like the way you're thinking about your identity and your gender. Like, are you thinking about being a man and are you thinking about it consistently? But I'm not thinking about it to the point where like, yeah, I want to be a man. I'm like, I'm comfortable with like wearing a tie. Like I could wear that just normally.
I think the part that's like, difficult for us to process, and I don't mean just us in the room, but many people, and why they won't have these conversations is because of the terminology, right? Where it's just like when we were little, we'd say terms like tomboy at max, right? Like my sister, we would call her tomboy. And then when all of these terms come up, like we were just, talking about the LGBTQ plus, IA plus, And so I think for the society who has been going by a certain standard, which is exactly the thing you were trying to protest with the hair movement in the first place, is not used to so much of this terminology. We don't like change. As people, we whenever something changes, we automatically have a feeling that we're just like, no, like resist. And so it's not only at this point introducing, new terms, but then it's like
the ideology too very much confuses me. And this is like, I'm totally willing to be changed on this, so feel free. Like, if there is the idea of wanting to abolish the idea of what is feminine and what is masculine, because people fall on all these, spectrums.
Are you talking about gender norms or like gender identity?
Gender identity specifically. If we're trying to, there's this whole movement of, okay, you can be, I'm losing the word right now for the one where you don't identify with either
Non-binary.
Non-binary. If you like being non-binary because you don't follow with either and whatever, these abolishment of raising children with feminine ideas of like wearing pink and boys, all that, right? I get that, but then I feel like it's a step backwards when we then identify with things that are we then associate things with being particularly female and male, such as I'm having a hard time grappling with the demi-female aspect, because it's like, if we're trying to abolish that kind of norms in that way and that identity with females being this way and men being this way, then why is it that we then go in to then re-add those attributes back in and identify separately again
of what it means to be a woman and a man?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's just adding to the spectrum. Like, you can't just go like, here's non-binary, here's man, and here's woman, and there's nothing else in between. Like, this is adding the stuff in between. Like, in between non-binary and woman is demi-female, and then in between non-binary and man is demi-male. And then there's probably a couple other things that I'm not sure about, because there is a lot of terminology, like 100%. It can be very confusing. Yeah.
I think at the same time, in a way that I relate to you, and many of us could relate, is by thinking of it in a way that it's just like, as Muslims, for example, we are questioned about our ways of practicing things a lot, right? And we're not scholars. And so I would say for the same with Nicole, it's just like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you are also questioning yourself, which is why you are queer. Yeah. Which I think is what you meant by that. Like,
And I wasn't expecting any type of answers. I'm just mostly voicing my confusion.
And your confusion is valid. I remember having a conversation about it in the winter and not fully understanding myself. And I was just participating in the conversation just as somebody that's trying to figure it out as well. Yeah.
Right. And I think it's healthy, when it actually, whenever people propose questions about things that relate to my identity, then I have to go and find the answers, and it gives me a healthier relationship with who I am and what I believe. And so, it either reaffirms those things or forms a new question. And for like this phase, for especially a lot of kids, I think they are in your shoes, where it's just like, we see it in TikTok a lot, and it's like the same thing that Amber's saying. It's just like, it comes off as confusing when it's like, oh, we're trying to abolish this thing, but I'm on this part of the spectrum. And if you don't have an understanding of the entire spectrum, you totally are misguided.
Yeah. And that comes down to education. And a lot of people in the queer community really push for better sexual education, because these things should be taught in school so that people can better know themselves. But in school, things are pushed that are like very heteronormative and cisgendered focused, and also monogamous focused. Yeah.
Well, people are also just like really scared. And I'll admit that I already hated school as is because of so many subjects that I didn't need. And so to me, my initial thought is like, that sounds like a waste of time for something that, doesn't have much to do with a profession or something that I'm going to school for. Because again, the way that I'll relate to it is like, we went over cultural history briefly, but it wasn't like, we're going over Islam and its practices and this and that. We celebrated Christmas and Easter and all of these things, which I was just like, whatever about. But then looking back at it, I'm just like, we could have just been like doing schoolwork. I get it, like we were kids or whatever, but like, if we're not going to have certain things, and I think everybody could look at it and say, we need more Black history, we need Asian this, we need, so I think everybody's trying to squeeze that into the kids. And who does the responsibility come down to? Is it the school? Is it parents? Is it communities that we're part of? I don't know.
I think it's important to continue to evolve education as society grows, but I would also say that it's easy to like pinpoint specifically what is not being taught. But like I taught kids for 10 years, and in that I was not given like a cultural background of what should be taught to children. We were teaching them manners, we were teaching them etiquette, we were teaching them subjects, and in that way. So
teach them taxes.
Yeah.
and you know what? Also nutrition should be taught.
I
in
think
school.
so too. I think the whole
Health class.
Well, also,
No,
yeah,
that's
didn't they
not
try
nutri-
with like the food pyramid and all that stuff? Like,
Yeah,
didn't
but I think that like nutrition is such a big part of life. Understanding it, I think that it should actually be one of like the detail.
See, TikTok be telling me the food pyramid is a hoax.
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
I
But
know.
the point is, they
But-
were trying. Like,
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
point. Like,
I have a somewhat
Wait,
of an experience.
she was going to respond
go
to
ahead.
that.
I was just going to agree with you. I think that the whole education system does need to evolve, and it should evolve with whatever is happening at the moment, which I know is very challenging because school is a state thing, so it's hard. But I mean, the whole government is seriously flawed and it needs to be evolved and reshaped anyway. Yeah, I don't know.
If business is behind it, it'll change the society. That's what we saw with like Black Lives Matter and other little protests, where as soon as there's a capitalistic interest behind it, then you'll see everything else go behind it too. I don't know if you saw recently, there was like these Frosted Flakes or something, and it was like it has like ways that people would identify themselves on the side of the box, and to me, I don't like do what you want, but that's so corny to me. Like, why is that being pushed on a box of cereal? Like, what does that have to do with cereal?
I mean, I think it's an easy way to incorporate like just like
Pride.
self identity.
No. This is what I'm saying.
No, he's saying it's a marketing
It's
tactic.
you throw a rainbow flag on the box, and then it's
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah,
pride.
yeah.
But
I mean, I
also
do think
agree
there's a-
with Amber though about how it's an easy way to say, hey, like you're reading your cereal and this is what people identify as, and maybe a kid is reading that and they're going through a phase where they're having gender dysphoria. I think a word is gender dysphoria, and they're dysphoria, and they're not really sure what to identify as, and they're eating their Frosted Flakes and they're like, wow, thank you.
I would say that
There's
that's
a lot of other brands though. I agree with
that's
you,
a
Ross.
marketing byproduct where it's just like, yes, it is doing that. What was the initial thought? And they're a business.
Yeah,
And like,
it's definitely marketing.
and it's Kellogg's.
Yeah.
And like,
I mean, there's a lot of businesses that hopped on the like the pride train, just for lack of a better word. And like you could tell there were some companies that were authentic with it, and some that were just throwing a flag.
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
and a lot of people in the queer community, like big influencers, called all of them out, and a lot of these brands that were putting the pride flag up, they were funding anti-gay organizations. Yeah, it's really sad.
my question with that is, do you eat Chick-fil-A?
No.
Damn.
Really?
No.
Is that
you know-
because you're veganish?
I am veganish, but also no. Chick-fil-A, I know what they do.
well, we have
chicken is
conversations
so
a lot
good.
about this.
No.
Where there's certain companies that like, we'll get a list when there's a new protest or something that happens, and it'll be a list of companies to boycott or something, and then we'll like back and forth like laugh about it and be like, yo guys, like
It's so good.
we're still eating this? Are we still rocking with this?
Yeah.
Because we are not the ones that are, benefiting the most at the end of the day, either way, like from this. We are consumers at the very bottom of the chain. And does it make a difference? Like, how do you balance that out for yourself for different companies and what they stand for versus what you'll decide to like eat or shop at?
It's definitely an ethical, moral obligation, like just my personal ethics. I can't allow myself to eat at Chick-fil-A. I don't think it's that good, and I don't eat
Well,
chicken.
besides Chick-fil-A, like where do you draw the line?
Yeah, that's also a tough one because I love Whole Foods, but I hate Jeff Bezos so much.
You said on the way here you were thinking about him
Yeah, it was really
in a dreamy
No,
way.
no,
or?
no, no. Please explain it exactly how you did. I
Okay.
said, "How was the ride here?" And you said,
I got in my feelings because I was thinking about this homeless man, and then I was thinking about Jeff Bezos. Yeah. So,
she said there was a few bumps in the road, which I thought she meant literal bumps on the road.
oh, there were actual bumps too.
Yeah. And then she was like, and it got me thinking about this homeless man, and then it got me thinking about Jeff Bezos, and I was like, what a thought process.
Well, that's I think a very universal sort of thought that like people will have. I don't know what to do about it. Like we're all kind of like, man, life is hard today. Screw Jeff Bezos.
Wait, why do we hate Jeff Bezos so much? Can somebody just clarify?
Amber, he is trying to get into a rock.
Hey, I'm asking a question. Change your tone.
No. I'm targeting things towards Jeff Bezos.
Got it.
Not you.
Yeah.
You've already been gold canceled. We're gonna get you platinum canceled today. Okay?
Wonderful.
You know how like record deals or the
Yeah.
records come in. She's gonna be platinum canceled. Jeff Bezos basically, we paid for him to go to the rocket. He said this himself to get people in a commercial rocket at some point to space, and he's having this billionaire space fight with Elon and what's his name, Richard Branson, and what Nicole, I believe, is inferring is that while they're spending billions and billions of dollars on this sort of stuff, there are people who still need food.
Yeah.
And basic.
I
sort of-
agree, but like he's going to make that money anyway, right? It's his own money. It's his company. He made that money. Just like, I'm just saying, like, even with like Microsoft, like Bill Gates, like he gave a lot of it to charity, but he had a bunch of money. That was going to be his money regardless.
We don't-
How they
we
spend
don't-
that
the thing
money,
is,
like
we can talk
why
about it.
can-
We just don't know.
okay.
But definitely, like, if they wanted to, they have more than enough to,
And homelessness
end
and
homelessness,
food.
hunger,
Yeah.
fix a lot of world problems. Why don't they? It could be reasons because it keeps them in power, which is most likely the case. Ties with other politicians and things like this. There's many reasons. We just don't know.
Yeah.
But
Or you
it
just
hurts
want to go to
Nicole's
space.
feelings. It hurts many of our feelings.
Yeah.
That's just the reality.
Yeah.
What can we do about it?
Well,
I mean, I wish I knew.
What did you do about the homeless man?
So I saw this homeless man, and it was really sad. Actually, he looked like he was a burn victim. Actually, he had like these scars all over his body, and he had this sign, and he just looked really traumatized. And it said food, money, clothes, whatever. And I just happened to have like a rain jacket in the back seat that was too
You gave
big
him
for
a rain
me.
jacket?
Yeah.
That's very nice of
that's
you.
very sweet of you.
Yeah. I always try to help. Like this woman came up to me on the street the other day. She was talking about her traumatic event and how she was trying to get to abortion clinic. And I just tried to help whenever. I was really touched by this movement when I was living in Ohio, in Akron, and it's called Serve the People. And they're super organized and they do so much for the homeless community down there. They have 2 nights a week where they serve homeless people hot food. People come out and they like make these dishes and they give them like snack packs and like water, and they collect like 2 times a week. And I think they're at 3 now, where they give them hot food supplies and snack packs. Yeah.
That's really good. See, I want to share stories like that. We don't need to
Yeah.
talk about Jeff Bezos. The issue is, that's incredible. First of all, what you did, you have a very kind heart. But there's 2 ways that people look at this. They say either now you're down some, whether you have a lot of money or not, you're down by doing that. And some people say that, well, only like the people who are who can't afford necessarily to do this stuff are the ones doing it the most. And another approach is, I'm going to make it first and then help out. And I don't have a problem with either, right? Because it makes sense. But that's the reality. And, there's always going to be sort of both of those types of people.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we have a lot of different people on this earth, so everybody can be doing something
part.
differently. Yeah, and doing their part and contributing in their way that they can, For me personally, I consider myself very lucky and very blessed. Like, I don't mind giving, even though I'm not like per se the person to be giving right now, but I have a roof over my head. I have clothes. Like my fridge is full of food. These people are out here.
Organic food.
Yeah, organic food, vegan food too. And veganish and all my supplements and all that. And I just see all these people just hurting and neglected and in pain. And I'm just like, they have been so neglected.
I say, who hurt you?
Yeah, but who hurt them? And it's just like a cycle. It's literally that generational trauma. And I see more of this generation coming forward and trying to break the cycles. Like more people are being vocal, and with social media now, we can organize a lot faster. That's why we were able to organize protests last summer so well, because of social media. We are more connected than ever. So more things are possible with time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Let's get even more weird.
Okay.
You said, yeah. Yeah, we're
what
weird.
a choice of word.
We're strangers. We're weird.
Got
It's okay to be weird. Breaking the weird norms.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
I feel like Amber's very judgmental.
Let's take
I don't know about you, but like,
I would rather go. Let's take a peek into the future.
well, okay. No, she said she's been exploring ideas
Okay.
of polyamorous relationships and
Oh.
ethical
Ooh.
non-monogamy. Oh.
Ethical non-monogamy. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I've just, again, like a lot of things from when I was younger are coming, I guess, into alchemy. Like they're being created now. Like when I was 16, I had a boyfriend and I had a crush on Joe Jonas. And I was like, I'm going to date both of them. And they're both going to live in their own separate houses.
Me too. I was like Joe Jonas.
You wanted to date him?
I wanted to
I
date
thought
him.
you said that you look like him.
I don't say. Other people always comment that on my stuff. You look like Joe Jonas.
Does he?
I think it's just the eyebrows.
Does he look?
I mean, I can see it now. Now that you're saying it, I can see where people get that from. Yeah.
So you was gonna have Joe Jonas in a whole separate house from
Yeah.
your regular boyfriend.
My real life boyfriend.
Your real life
Wait. Hold on. It's always that Joe Jonas and Dixie D'Amelio.
Who was that?
Oh, people say you look like Dixie D'Amelio?
Yeah.
No way.
they would comment on my TikToks. Is this Charlie's sister?
Are you on TikTok?
I am, but I don't know
Do you know
who
who
that
Charlie
is.
D'Amelio is? Like
I
the
don't.
number one most famous TikToker, I
I
guess.
probably have seen him somewhere.
Her.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
So you're wanting to live in a house with Joe Jonas.
Or I'd probably live in my own house.
Wait, do you drink
Oh, okay.
Dunkin' Donuts at all?
I do sometimes.
Did
yeah.
you see the Charlie drink?
No.
Amber,
The
it's
one?
fine if people
my
don't know
gosh.
TikTokers.
No, I just felt like that was another relatable way for her to maybe know.
If we make a reference and Amber doesn't know it, she's like blows it off.
Yeah.
If we don't know her reference,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
over.
I just
It's
figured
over.
that it was like, fuck off.
I don't know. I'm on the queer TikTok, like the astrology TikTok. That's what I see a lot. Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so you have this idea of relationships by seeing your celebrity crush.
Yes.
And then what happens? You want all three Jonas brothers. You're like, you know what? I have to change my views on marriage.
I mean, I've always really questioned marriage and questioned, like, are we really supposed to just love one person our entire lives? Like, I just never felt like, I just felt like I had
Men
so
aren't
much
that
love.
important.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I was kidding.
Amber, she's queer.
I'm so sorry.
Platinum cancel. There it is.
cancel,
Boom.
platinum
I was talking about myself. That was a personal reflection.
I didn't take it personally.
Yeah, no, that was my own
For you,
reflection.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She understood.
Yes.
Keep going,
That's
sis.
not what happened. Roll the clip. Roll it back, people.
So anyway, I was just really questioning these things. Like even it was after high school, and I was just thinking, people really just find one person and they just stick with them until they die. Like
That sounds so depressing
I
when you
know.
put it like that. When you put it like that.
yeah, it sounded depressing to me too when I put it that way to myself.
Perspective.
Yeah. I was just like, what? Like how? I just feel like I learned so much from connecting to people in different ways. And am I just going to, is this one person going to keep teaching me things? Like, are they going to be able to feel me? And I just love meeting people so much and talking to people. And I'm just like, am I going to be able to do that with this person? What if you date? I don't know. It's just a lot of things.
Wait, but
Yeah.
you know the answer to that is yes, right? Like either way.
Yes, about what?
That you can still meet people, talk to them,
oh
all
yeah,
this kind of stuff.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
then, what's the difference? Why go
Why the intimate relationship?
polyamorous and
Polyamorous. I mean, I guess it's just a different level of intimacy, and intimacy isn't always physical, and that's the beauty of. And you can be
Isn't
in.
always physical. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and
well,
you
yeah,
can-
like that's
No, no, I would-
polyamorous is the whole idea is romantic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your concerns were non-romantic concerns.
I mean, at the time, yes, I was young and I was 18, and just life is different when you're 18
Sure.
hormonally, and
You were
just-
gonna play in a ball pit with Joe Jonas and nothing more. Not in his ball pit though.
and I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me, and I was like, and then also with the whole hookup culture and men being hyped up for all of their hookups, like Drake and all these toxic rappers.
Hip hop in general.
Yeah, hip hop is very problematic when it comes to that, and
But
like,
can't you say the same for like polygamous relationships? Am I saying that right? Polygamous?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
polyamorous.
polyamorous, because I know polygamous is like Mormons and that type
Yeah,
of thing. So,
mhm.
but like, isn't there a lot of toxicity that comes with that? Because like it statistically,
Mhm.
isn't it that a lot of those situations don't tend to be as healthy when it comes to like financially, like there's no legal backing to it. All those things. There is perk with marriages, like legally, and then on top of that, like they say, like I get in this situation, it's not just like two, like multiple females with a singular male, so that does change the dynamics a little bit. But like bringing children into the picture and all that type of stuff, is that a healthy environment for them?
I mean, why wouldn't it be? It's more people giving a child love and intimacy and care, and two parents aren't always present, and there's often like aunts and uncles or babysitters even at time that come into the picture, and the whole like, and there's a lot of toxic ideas in monogamy, like
sure.
even some people, it's just like pretty much on par most of the time, but with polyamory and ethical non-monogamy, there's a lot more transparency. You have to be able to communicate, and there's a lot of there's just constant communication. You can't be shady. You can't like hide things. It's just full transparency all the time.
Because in my head, I'm like, if there's a throuple and there's one person being neglected, is that healthy? You know,
That's not neglect.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying like it tends to be that like, you know,
Well, it can be, right?
right.
What you both are, saying is coming from places of perspective and experience. There is positives and negatives that could be associated
100%.
with both, right? If you see the first 10 minutes of Up, you're not going to say, like, I can't be in a relationship with one person the whole time. You're going to be like, I want that.
Right.
Whatever that is, that's what I want.
Yeah.
So in any instance you see, whether it be your parents, other people, it all comes down to perspective and experience, right?
I think so. And different things work for different people, but there's a lot of things that in polyamory that the community teaches that are beneficial for people in monogamous relationships too. Yeah.
Like again, with our religion, there is an aspect of it where men can marry up to 4 wives. And so people question that all the time. When is it okay to do that? And there is a lot of criteria you have to meet if you study
choose
and
to
talk
partake.
to a scholar about what are the requirements. And it's not just like the way that we've seen it, where it's just like, a rich Saudi guy that can kind of flex
Money.
the same way that he has 4 watches on his wrist for women. And, if you date it back to why that was a thing in the first place, it's very different than the time we live in now.
Yeah.
So people even question, is the time we live in now an appropriate time to be, practicing that part? These are all things that are kind of like situational and dependent on what the condition is of all of that.
Well, I think being more open to discussing and exploring polyamory and ethical non-monogamy, can open a lot of doors for people and just give people more options and different avenues to explore to figure out what fits their personal lifestyle more. And it can also eliminate a lot of issues in monogamous relationships by opening these doors. Yeah.
I think one of the things that, when I hear and when I read your bio, right? One of the major sort of questions that I raise is like, where is the system or the practicality in this. And what I mean by that is like you identify as actually you're still kind of questioning it, right? And then you have this standard for the way that you want to present your physical being, and then what you seek in partner or partners. And so to matchmake or find people that are kind of in that same realm, is it just kind of like whatever floats your boat, or is it like, you know, if you're seeking a certain type of person, how do you even find that and you know, somebody kind of be
The same standards that you want.
yeah, like
Same guideline. 'Cause like, okay, this is fine, but this is not, because there are a lot of aspects to it, especially when it's not like a guided system, right? It's like, okay.
like that's what societal norms are, right? Like it's a system. And do you not want a system entirely, or like to change the system?
For me personally, it's something that I'm still exploring, figuring out. So I can't really say what I want my system to be. I can talk about maybe some ideals that I have.
Do you have trouble navigating it?
Yeah, it's definitely troublesome, and I've definitely struggled with it. Like my previous partner, he was very open to the idea of a throuple and me having another partner, and that's something that I didn't want, and that had to do a lot with me like having internalized homophobia towards myself. Yeah, like I was like, no, like dating a woman, I can't do that, and like just being afraid of being judged if I was in a polyamorous relationship when everyone around me is monogamous. So there's a lot of struggles when it comes to these types of things, and things that I have denied myself just based on these societal norms and like being rejected from it. Yeah.
I think when you see it, you know, that way, and not to say that just because something is difficult, it's not right, but definitely when you have, like, for example, somebody is religious and they belong to a community, that is a very sort of easy way to navigate what to do, who you are, as long as you believe in it. And as like, especially when you have good role models that did that, you can point to it and say that worked. For you, are there role models or, you know, within the communities you belong to where you could say definitely like, oh, this worked, that worked?
So now in this phase of my life, I have been seeking out role models where I am seeing like, oh, it is possible. Like these things do work, because I didn't see it before. Even just like 5-6 years ago, I didn't believe it worked because I didn't see it. There wasn't any representation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a representation thing too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amber told me that you are a nomad currently. Is that right?
Yeah, I am living a bit of a nomadic life.
Is this all under like the umbrella of what's it called? What's the
Van life?
fire?
Oh.
No, what's the fire festival? Not the fire festival. The
the
Burning Man.
Burning Man.
You know, like the Burning Man community.
culture.
Like the festival community.
Is this all like kind of?
Part
All
of
those
it.
ideas are kind of similar to
Well,
what you're saying.
there's like a name for it.
The idea of being nomadic, or just everything?
You know, like a lot of these like topics and aspects that we've
Like
covered.
detached from the system and like, you
like
know.
a bohemian. I don't know. I just consider myself radical.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we
You're so
can't.
calm.
See, we can't do that. If I said I'm a radical Muslim,
Yeah, that would not
Don't
work.
say that.
Yeah.
Allahu Akbar.
Oh, FBI open up.
Right.
Oh, God.
I am a radical Muslim.
I mean,
my
yeah,
God.
you're
Come on.
radical in a good way, though. Not in
I'm
the
a rad Muslim. Wait, let's do that. Let's do a
Yeah, let's change
That's
the
merch right.
community.
That's a
Yeah.
rad. That's merch right there.
yo. Instead of like radical,
Uh-huh.
we cross out the ickle.
Uh-huh.
It just says rad Muslim.
Yeah.
Don't steal that.
Yeah.
Do not steal
steal
that.
it.
That's merch. That's merch.
We're merching it.
Hell yeah.
Good business. You know, we're like Kellogg's now,
Yeah.
taking advantage
Profiting off of it.
of the capitalist mentality.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so you don't have an official home. You want to be like a free spirit. Like, what's it all about?
So now I definitely want a home. I was just living this nomadic lifestyle just because it was convenient at the time. My lease ended in December, and then the opportunity came to go to Maui for a month through our mutual friend.
yeah.
And I was like, screw it. I'm in such a negative space right now. I could use 4 weeks on this beautiful island, right? And then
Maui is amazing.
yeah, have you been?
Wait, you can't be a nomad on an island. That's unfair.
Why?
That's
Why?
cheating. That's Hawaii?
Like you're saying,
It's like the best possible scenario.
You can't be a nomad
Yeah.
in like a resort or something.
I wasn't in a
and the
resort.
Jamaican resort. Yeah, I'm all about this free spirit.
To be
money.
honest, there's a lot of people in Maui that just like visited, felt like they wanted to be there for a little while longer, so they just ended up staying there.
Yeah, that's actually quite problematic.
Smoke the organic herb, man.
Like everybody that I met while I was in Maui was like, oh yeah, like I came here, I just kind of liked it, so I just like stayed back and
Yeah.
quit my job, and I'm like here now.
Yeah, it's really bad that that's actually happening. I actually made a post about it, talking about the problems that Hawaii is having. The population is constantly increasing, and the way the Hawaiian Islands landscape is, it's not set up to have that many people because
Like weight wise,
no, it's more about like land that has a good
definitely not
foundation.
Wait, why?
no, I know.
You think it's gonna sink with too many people?
Hey, it was an innocent question. No questions are dumb.
We're not letting that slide.
Can I just say the reason why I said that was because of the hand movement that was involved.
Oh.
She said it's not set up for the way, and I was like, that
Oh.
looks like weight distribution
Oh, no.
to me.
Amber,
I was thinking about the mountains, the volcanoes.
the scientific community has also thrown in a platinum plaque for Amber.
Oh my gosh.
Canceled for life.
I don't appreciate you adding on to not just the other people trying to cancel me, but you're over here trying to actively cancel me, my friend.
Put some
Yeah.
accolades on that.
Yeah. Like, get canceled. Be free. You know, what do you think about this? Real freedom is being canceled all the way.
Honest-
Because then you don't have to abide by any standards.
One of my
Also have no izzat.
Respect.
Respect. There we go.
cancel culture sucks, but I do follow this writer on Instagram, and she's been canceled, and she talks about it a lot. But
Is it J.K. Rowling?
no,
Oh.
no,
Are you not a fan
wait.
of JK?
she's so problematic. But I love Harry Potter. It's so bad.
Isn't that crazy? The people that like love her so much also like can't even support her, but the
attachment?
attachment is like, it's like if you found out the creators of Avatar, who you have tattooed on you,
I know.
were like homophobic, transphobic, or something.
Donating
What
to
would you
them?
do?
I
You go
would
for the
have-
tattoo removal?
Yeah, I would go get it
Oh.
covered.
No, but here's you're speaking about cancel culture, right? So that would be you canceling it.
I know.
But
it's just-
Avatar, the ideas that you find value in have nothing to do, or
With the creators.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to think about it. It also depends on how bad it is. There's a DJ, Bass Nectar, in the EDM community. And last summer it came out that he was basically grooming young women. Yeah, he was being very creepy predator, and all those emails came out, and he got really canceled because that's something that is absolutely not condonable at all.
See, sometimes it's
Yeah.
hard to detach yourself from the artist and the art. And we've had plenty of conversation around this. Like if you'd still listen to Michael Jackson, if these things were true, or R. Kelly, if this was true. I think Avatar, like, it would have to be a stretch.
Yeah.
You know? Like what JK does sometimes is like, she'd be changing up the story.
Yeah.
To like,
all the time.
fit-
Did you guys read her blog? That one that she wrote? Oh man, yeah, it was like 4,000 words, and I just got curious because I really wanted to know if it was that bad. And
It's okay.
she's really she is really transphobic. She is, and it's all very fear based, and it's really ignorant. She tries to be an ally, but there's just so much fear and hate inside of her that it's like really blocking her from being a true ally.
is Dumbledore really gay, or is that something that she...
And that's also something. And then she also tried saying that Hermione was actually black, but she never once mentioned that. And she, in the book, said that she has fair skin, like pasty skin or something along those lines. So,
Okay.
and then Dumbledore being gay. Are you so homophobic that you can't even actually discuss that in detail in the book? You have to just like throw that questionable identity out there after the fact.
Wait.
If anybody, Harry should
Why
have been
is-
gay. That would have been a huge twist,
Oh,
and it would have made
Wait,
sense.
but why? Wait,
Yeah.
why? What are the? Why is
Yeah.
Dumbledore gay? I'm confused. Did she put that out there?
Afterwards.
Yes.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like
She's trying to
There's
save
nothing
herself.
about that in the
exactly.
books or
She's trying to
anything.
save herself from being canceled. Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not gay. Dumbledore was gay.
Yeah.
Got
Wait,
it.
okay. Without spoiling,
Harry Potter?
no.
Oh.
It's already out.
Avatar- have you watched The Legend of Korra?
Oh yeah, I've seen
Without
it. though.
spoiling, were you excited about the ending?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I thought it was nice, but I feel
You wanted a little more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, of course you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's your thing. But you must have been like, what?
Yeah, it was definitely shocking to see how that it ended that way. And
It's by the way an LGBTQ reference.
it.
IA plus.
yes.
Guff.
Long meme.
Okay. So what else do you have going on in your life currently? Where do you go from here? What are you working towards?
I'm definitely working towards writing more and getting comfortable with sharing it. I'm trying to explore what avenues I want to do. Do I want to do fiction? Do I want to be more journalism and current events? So kind of in that realm, I'm actually going to be signing a lease. So the nomadic lifestyle is
Coming to
over.
an
We back.
end.
Yeah, I am
Damn.
back.
We back, baby.
Is it in Maryland or are you going back to Maui?
In Maryland.
Ah.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you want to be free, like I know that America is like the freedom country. We like really praise that, but like we be like working all all we're set up to do in this country is just work. If you want to be free, like even like having a lease, like going through, like
I
you're
know.
always paying for something.
Yeah.
Like you got to go somewhere like, and not Hawaii because
It's
that's
really
still America.
They don't have the weight distribution for.
They no longer
to go
have.
on
Yeah,
it.
too much weight.
Yeah,
Once
they
she-
have a weight
Once
capacity.
Nicole grows the hair, then it over.
Yeah. It's
That'll
too
be
much weight.
that'll be the few pounds over.
Right.
You got to just leave America. That's the thing. But like you can't.
You can't.
It's like Chick-fil-A, right?
Oh man, I mean that's the goal. It would be awesome to leave America.
I
one
know
day.
exactly where
Yeah.
I would go if I
Where are
had
you going?
to. I'd go to Bali.
Oh, absolutely.
Not to be like random. Not to be like Bali. Like I would love to be in it.
Do we
Like,
know the situation in Bali, like what the tax situation is, and
It's really
living
hard
and this and
to live there when you're not a citizen. Like there's a lot of like paperwork process you have to go through, and you can't. It's really hard to work there too. But if you can work like through your computer or something, you're typically fine as long as it's not something for Bali. But like, bro, the healthy eating, the like the yoga being like into the culture, the beautiful beaches, just the. Bruh,
I know.
I know I would go there.
Amber, that's the West Coast.
No, I don't. I wouldn't
Yoga,
know.
beaches,
Yeah.
healthy
Yeah,
living.
but that's all like commercialized.
Yes.
It's a lot more natural in Bali.
No, that is like Bali is like the #1 tourist spot in the past 2
I
years.
get
or
that, but
something.
Bali is just like the general one. There's a lot of like,
Yeah, like,
more
they've been on that. They
reclosed
started
areas.
that.
They have a lot
Like,
of
that
more
part of the world
reclosed areas
started
that aren't touristy areas that are more like local and like I would want to explore
like
those areas. for sure.
Instagrammy.
Not even Instagram,
Just
like
down to earth.
Yes,
Yeah.
like very grounding type experiences. I'm sure. I don't know for sure,
Same,
but
yeah.
I'm sure.
Right.
And I would love to be there. Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm talking about Bali.
Where can people follow you and keep up with everything that you're doing?
They can follow me on Instagram and TikTok.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Are your TikTok videos the info, like what's it called? POV? Do you make POV TikToks?
Wait,
What is
info and POV are two completely
Yeah.
different
What are you
things.
talking about?
Are you talking about like, oh, these are 3 facts if you want to.
What's a POV one?
POV is like when you are doing a reaction to a situation.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So what's the other one you said?
I think like it's facts. Like, oh, these are 3 facts if you want
Like,
to grow body
what-
hair or like.
Right.
Michael
okay.
Like that.
Santoro.
I don't know
Does it have to
No?
do with what
Uh.
we talked about today, basically?
It's more in the activism side. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the astrology
Any
side.
dances?
Any dancing? No. No dancing on TikTok.
She has a lot of information on her
Live out-
Instagram too, so make sure you check that out because you put in a lot of effort with putting out information to the world, and
Thanks.
it's super commendable.
Thank
What about
you.
like a nice Indo-Caribbean dance?
I mean, I
No
have
vibes.
thought
Music?
about it.
A little Irish jig, maybe?
I was thinking
Irish
about
jig.
incorporating the dance and doing the facts
Yeah.
with it. I feel like that's super trendy.
Dancing?
It's
Did you know?
It's like
Yeah. No, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We look forward to it.
Cool.
Nicole, honestly, thank you so much for like having such a beautiful conversation. I hope we weren't super hard on you.
Oh no, I don't
Please
think
don't
so.
take
I
anything so
felt like you
personally.
guys were just not informed and not an insulting way. Yeah.
I get that every day of my life either way, so it's okay.
Yeah, and I 100% am gonna.
That's
agree
why
with that.
that's why we have this podcast, because we
Okay.
want to like learn and
Okay.
not be like, okay, we see Nicole in the distance. She's like, okay, that's just a hippie chick.
Yeah. And the reality is there's going to be people who are listening too that are as uninformed as I am. And I would hope that, they're able to gain something out of this.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, guys.
We have one last question before
Okay.
you leave today.
All right.
And it's the most important question on this podcast. Amber, you want to take that away?
I want Shamir to take it away.
Shamir, take it away.
Why me?
You've been summoned, dude.
If you could describe yourself as any flavor, what would it be and why?
Oh,
This ain't easy. All those identities.
I know. A flavor,
This
like
world.
a flavor. Can it be a scent?
Sure.
It can be anything.
Whatever
Oh
you
Yeah.
wait, I think I would. Ooh.
That describes you and why. That's the important part. We don't care what the flavor is. We just needed to know why. She was
Why
looking at
is
the
it
flavor wall before she came
you?
here too. You can't look there now.
Okay, it's
No
off
cheating.
limits.
Saying Hawaii.
Oh man, something.
I didn't get that one.
sweet.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Nomad in Hawaii.
But what does that have to do with cheating?
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
okay,
that's cheating.
cheating. Damn.
Nomad is cheating in
She
Hawaii?
was cheating like as being a nomad. That's what Frost was inferring.
Ah, got it.
We're buying time for you right now.
All right, I am definitely thinking, but I think I've come to my answer. I would be sweet and spicy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm definitely sweet and I'm nice and I'm easy to get along with, but there's definitely that spice where I'm like, no, you can't mess around with me. I will definitely let people know that they're out of line. And I'm also very passionate and I have very strong opinions and I'm not afraid to not share them. Yeah.
You throw the hands?
No, I don't want to throw the hands.
But come on, live out your Irish side.
No, I want to be like Aang and practice nonviolence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you were very nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And thank you so
Very
much
sweet.
for, taking the time coming on here and having this awesome conversation with us.
Yeah.
Sweet and
absolutely.
spicy. Nicole.
Yes.
Any last words?
No, just thank you guys. This has been really fun. It's been a great conversation. Thank you all.
Awesome. For everybody listening, this has been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
I've wasted my time since the youth. I know that you can't tell the truth. I won't